coming out is it's about
Okay,
police.
Oh yeah, you see on the bottom, you see on the top right.
Yeah, do you guys see it?
Yeah, it just went live.
Oh yeah, he wasn't live before.
No, 2 seconds ago. But this movie that's coming out is about police brutality. So it'll be interesting to see whatever role Mel Gibson's playing in it.
Oh, that's interesting because every time I see police brutality brought out as a topic, it's got some agenda having to do with bolstering some psyop or another. It seems interesting. I mean, I'm not surprised that Mel Gibson would be in a movie like that. I can already tell you the subtext is probably going to be something along the lines of, we need more federal control over our police or something.
Well, the title of it is called Dragged Across Concrete.
I don't see you live. Where are you live at?
Dragged Across Concrete.
Yeah, that's the name of the movie. Yeah.
What about a movie called Polar Bear Hunting? Are we live right now?
Yeah.
I don't see it on there.
I know it's not on here.
You know how to check? Refresh.
Yeah, I see it.
I can do it.
I can give you the link.
You're gonna have to.
Let me see. I'll send it in the Hangouts box.
Because the way you have it is I can't go to his videos. You see that?
Back out and go to. I'll put it in a group.
He just gave it to us.
Is Flat Earth Detailing the name of your company?
No.
Oh, wait.
Drive Detailing.
Hey, I'm gonna make a quick call. Not a call, but I gotta let.
You guys see the chat on the right?
Yeah, we good.
The screen. There you go. That's the watch page link.
Oops.
I got it.
Cool.
Okay. Sorry.
Do you need me to mute?
No, you don't need to mute.
Okay.
That's good. Take a couple minutes here to make this call. It's about being the camp.
I should have put your name in the title. That's always good for some draw.
Hey, what's up? Oh, pretty good. We're just in the final 2 weeks, so things are about to accelerate.
All right, he's taking a call, so he'll be right back.
Alrighty then. So, how are you, Miss Morky? Why are you not on screen? We need some eye candy here.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Gotta give There's nobody even in the chat.
Yeah, I know. You know, it sucks. I'm on my other channel, which has 86 subscribers.
That's why I can't find it.
It's the white typo negative, not the green. Not the green typo negative.
Gotcha.
But if you're not subbed, then sub to it so you get the alerts.
Yeah, because I wasn't subscribed. Alrighty.
All right. So what was Globebusters about this Sunday?
I don't even know.
I forgot. I think it was like recaps. Or no, it was about Cammy's map, which was very cool. That's right. I don't get to listen to Globebusters really when they're live. I don't ever get there. And if I get into the chat, forget about it. I'm not listening. I can't listen to something and do chat. Some people live for that chat, man. Holy shit. I don't want to talk. I don't want to be on your Hangout. I just want to do chat. Yes. Hi. What's up?
I learned how to pop out chat, so it's easy now.
Yeah, you can full screen it too. Are you on a Mac or a PC?
No. I'm on a fucking laptop.
Well, yeah, a Mac or a PC.
I don't know. How am I supposed to know that?
Does it have an Apple on the back? Is it silver?
It's got flat power sticker on the back like this.
I can't see.
It's got Brother Sanchez on the back of it.
Bro Sanchez.
Which is funny.
Yeah, what's up, Bro Sanchez? Foe. Like a foe. I don't know where the moon has been lately.
I don't know. I've been wondering.
I haven't seen the moon in like 2 weeks or something like that. Very strange.
Very strange.
I don't. And you guys must have great star.
When we get away from the light, yeah.
Well, I mean, there's nothing really. There's no big city by you, right?
Just Albuquerque. That's about
Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Probably not a quirky town or city. Is there a lot of
knows you're live, huh?
nobody what?
Knows you're live.
I know. How should I do this? Oh, I know. I should go on Skype and make an announcement.
Okay, yeah.
Why did Skype choose to use that particular sound effect?
Yes.
Well, let me check something. I usually do this before I do a Hangout. I'll go on YouTube and see, type in, and the last time I did a Hangout, I put Flat Earth Hangout, Haunted House talks to Jarenism.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Like, you're not Jarenism. Yes, I am Jarenism. See?
What's up, HSP gang?
Okay, live, Flat Earth. Who's stealing all the viewers? Not Poncho Pete. It's not Earth Discernment. Maybe it's Einar Kanuski. Oh, P. Mars is doing a live hangout.
Oh, P. Mars has got everybody.
Oh, you got Penis Mars. Was he got Dell in there? Oh, he's playing back stuff.
Right.
Why would I want to watch that? There's nobody even. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to do a live hangout and I'm going to play a video of somebody doing something. They could say something on my hangout.
Other channel, right?
Yeah, November 18th, I get it back.
I think I was in that chat. I was in the last chat that they got taken down too. When y'all were showing the tattoos.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you must have seen that coming.
I did. I did.
See, I just can't clickbait people. I can't do it. I can't like show a weird picture just to get people to look. Got to stay true. Got to stay honest. See, you know, I want to know how YouTube does this with the thumbnailing, how it randomly thumbnails.
Right.
Like right now, it's got a picture of me on there.
Right.
Let me see if I put it on. If I put it on you, it'll freeze up. Somebody just did something. I heard noises in the background.
Is that really her address?
Is that my address?
No. I'm looking at the troll name.
Trolls. Come on, Skype. Where are you? Ah, there we go. There we go.
There you go.
Speaking of
That's
go.
ruthless. That's ruthless.
Hmm?
I said that's ruthless. I'm talking to the chat.
Patricia Steer, 2900 West Dallas Street. Laugh out loud. You're boring. Face it. Yeah, it is.
Hey, Percy.
So let me ask this person, Patricia Steer, 2900. What do we do with that information?
Send her some flowers. Send her a dozen roses.
Yeah, thanks for the address.
Right.
You're boring, face it. P. Mars is HSP gang? No.
No,
I don't think
no,
so.
that's not what he was referring to. You didn't say P. Mars' name right, so HSP gang was correcting you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what that was.
Do what you want with it, he says. What am I supposed to do with it? Like, you made your account.
Do you know her birthday? Because I can send her a birthday card.
HSP gang's like, I'm not P. Mars. I'm not him.
And I can address it to Agent Steer. Like everybody's trying to say.
2900 what street? Shill Street? Dallas Street?
Yeah, he said, yeah, one sec.
Dallas Street. All right, let's check it out. Let me get Patricia on the phone. Let her know. Hey, Patricia, I just want to let you know that, oh, wow, look at her house. That's beautiful. It looks exactly like an industrial park.
Did you really look it up?
Yeah. There's no house there.
There's no house
Yeah,
there?
there is. Yeah, there is. No, there's nothing there. It's like a prison or something.
Oh, prison.
What the hell is this? Or a storage
Sounds about
facility or
right.
something like that. Patricia, you live in a prison? Just wondering. Oh, come on, dude. You got to do better than that. He's probably going to leave now because he's like, oh, they don't like, you know, you're not getting pissed off at me. You want my address? You can put that up. Maybe I'll get some people to come over. Hey, Wambra. Number 648 is the apartment. Let me see. There is no apartment, dude.
It's an apartment complex, not a prison.
So I just got a message from Patricia saying, close but no cigar.
Hi, Wambra. Edie loves you.
And it's not apartment 648, it's apartment 666. You're in East Downtown. Let me see. She lives in a different part, like near North Side or something by Kashmir Gardens. I've never been there. Never been to Texas. I don't mess with Texas.
I had to come through Texas. I stopped in Dallas. Pretty nice.
Gonna crash this for work early. Run it. I like that. I like that he's gonna fall asleep to that. That's how I got into Flatter, by falling asleep to a wakey wakey video.
Yes, it's me.
Morcapede. Let me change something in here. You gotta put some lights on over there. You guys are in the dark.
There is no lights in here. I gotta get a lamp.
Yeah, you do.
I don't want your phone. Promise.
You know, it was a good video that I liked. It was pretty good. After watching all these blame channels, I'll get into blame channels. I'll start ranting. Let me get warmed up first before I start going off. Truth Stream Media. Truth Stream Media.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Chick was talking about how it was like her journey to where she is now, and how when she was young she was really sick with stuff, and then finally woke up to what it was that was ailing her.
Patricia Steer's address wants to show you something first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey,
What's up,
Tony.
baby arm?
Pasteboard. I want to know, why is this guy like, why would someone not put their name up? Think he might be scared of something? I see a lot of fear.
Oh, right.
I don't get pasteboard. Or at least that thing isn't working. Let me give ADR a wrenchy. And Womber can have a wrench too. ADR used to be like, he was like the quintessential wrencher.
I'll take a wrench.
And, oh yeah, yeah.
Here. I'll say something. Wrench me up.
Wombra, wrenchy. Wombra's DJ.
HSP gang, but he was first.
Hey Womber, you like Square Pusher? You like Audiger? Plastic Man?
Oh
DJ
no.
Shadow?
Don't give this bitch a wrench. She don't need a wrench.
Yeah.
Who's that bitch?
Monique.
Oh. Oh my God, Monique.
Only I could call her a bitch and get away with it though.
I would love to see that fight. You don't even have to do.
Fight,
you guys don't even have to be naked. You know, it could be just mud in a muddy pit with John Candy. Monique's like, I would never do that. Where's the mud pit?
Look, Monique, somebody wants to say hey. Hey, Monique. Hey, Monique. Get it. So frisky tonight. We would never fight. See, I told you.
So how are things going with when IPS put his first video out, I thought he called himself Donnie. I don't know why. I thought his name was Donnie or Donald or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was saying to myself, I bet his name is Donald. He could be a Donald.
Don.
I thought his name was Don.
The Don Corleone.
Donnie Epps.
Oh no, you didn't. Great.
Donnie Epps. So things are going well.
Yeah.
Please say yes. Are you guys crawling at the speed of light?
So yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Justin, I'll talk to you soon. I will. Issa says hi.
Issa says hi. Tell him I said hi.
All right. See ya.
Where is he? Issa Mahalski.
See ya. All
He
right.
doesn't really live in New York
So-
City.
FEMA's on tomorrow.
Monique says hey.
Is she in here?
Yeah.
No power. Is she in the hangout or is she in the chat room?
She's in the chat along with Wombra.
Oh, Wambra.
Patricia Steer and her address is in here.
Yeah.
Patricia Steer. Who's doing that?
Haunted House done looked it up.
Is that her house?
It was a prison. No,
No, it was like it looked
it's
like
an apartment complex.
a facility. Let me see here.
What is that supposed to do? It's like,
I
like I
asked
said,
him.
you know,
He doesn't know.
send me pizza.
No, this is what I said. I said, do you have her birthday? I can send her a birthday card.
Oh, that would be cool. I'd
That
send
would
her
be very
a
nice.
I gotta send one to Mark.
Mark Sargent.
His address is public.
Yeah.
It's probably the same
We
as
should
hers.
call
so.
Mark. We should call Mark Sargent.
Yeah,
Let
it's the
me
same
see if I
address,
could-
right?
I have his phone number. If it's the same phone number.
Call him up.
I used to call him back in like 2015. Like I remember calling him while I was watching the video. He was like, "So call me at 201. Fun, having fun. NIGHD. Party line. Sergeants. Mark." I had him as Flat Earth Guy. Flat Earth Mark or something like that. I was like, this guy's crazy. Why am I listening to him? Flat Earth. My name, and I encourage everyone to do this, when you make a name for yourself for like an app or something, I have an app called OfferUp. It's like Craigslist. You can sell shit locally. I was like, you know what? I should just make my name Flat Earth. It makes absolutely no sense why anyone would be called adjective noun, but people see it. Nobody has said anything, but it's visible there. And I'm just selling it. Nothing whatsoever related to Flat Earth. I think that's the next phase in doing this.
Yeah.
Bringing Flat Earth to the table, but not talking about it. Just leaving it there, and its credibility, it'll be able to stand on its own legs. You know, I don't have to say anything for it, because that's when people turn off, once you start talking about it. But if they see it in passing, it'll hit them in the subconscious.
Like if you name your dog Flat Earth.
Exactly.
You take it for a walk or whatever. Like, Flat Earth, stay.
This is what I was thinking. Like, like, you know how women go get their nails done? I was thinking, you know, that could be a flat smacking every time. Like, get Flat Earth put across your nails, you know, for the chicks. And what was the thing for the guys to do?
Tattoo them across your knuckles?
No, it was something else. Oh, the cakes. Like, doing the cakes like you was looking up. The Flat Earth cakes. That's a flat smacking to the people who have to make the cake, you know?
Yeah.
And they have to explain, well, this is the way they wanted it, you know, because they explained that this is how it works.
A cake?
And if you're ever...
Yeah, you're right. Like, you put a sun and a moon there that would, like, move over. Yeah.
Or, like, go have patches put on by somebody who's professional or whatever, research Flat Earth, and they're like, what is this, you know?
Or if you have to give your name or address or something like that to someone, just be like 123 Flat Earth Street.
Right.
I'm sorry, did you say Flat Earth Street?
No,
Flat Earth
Street. Ago, I was doing this thing where I was like,
yeah, don't look up those cakes, is what Monique said. You're live.
I know. I'll get kicked off. Totally.
I was doing this thing where it was like, if you go to Starbucks and you tell them your name is Flat Earth, you know, I'll buy your coffee.
Yeah, totally. That's exactly, that's what I'm talking. What's the name? We need a name for that.
Well, we did it for a while, but then Starbucks went after Nathan. No, they went after Jay Dreamers because he did it, and they got pissed about it because he wanted them to say Flat Earth. They wouldn't do it. He wouldn't leave. They called the police. Next thing you know, he talks about it, and they flagged his video for bullying or something. So I think Starbucks was on to what we were doing, and they were flagging any videos where we were showing their employees freaking out over it or laughing at it.
Did I tell you guys that I flat smacked a 1-800 number?
Yeah.
That was interesting. That was weird and interesting. Because I was talking to this guy. I passed a billboard on the New Jersey Turnpike right around Harrison. Issa probably knows where that is.
Shout out, Issa.
Which person I'm going to wrench. I should ban him.
You should ban him. I banned IPS in his own chat the other day.
I put him in a
Where's
timeout.
Crepe? He's at Morgan. No,
You delete-
at Crepe's.
Oh, it's H.
I gotta get him. I gotta get him back for the other day.
That's HPV Way. One of my biggest fans.
So, oh shit!
Did you really time Lisa out?
I didn't mean to do that. How do I undo it?
No.
300 seconds is 5 minutes. Holy shit, that's 5 minutes. Uh-oh. All right, well, I'll talk for 5 minutes. Sorry about that. Anyway, there was a billboard that had it said, heaven or hell. Do you know which one you're going to? And underneath it said 1-800-4-TRUTH. So I'm on my way to a show this last Sunday. And I was like, okay, I got about a half-hour drive. Let me call this guy up and see what's up with this thing. And I'm going to check right now to see if it's like a live hotline kind of deal. And I was...
Para español, marque 9. To speak with someone on our phone team about your questions or spiritual needs, press 0. To learn more about gospelbillboards.org, press 1. To listen to brief explanations about our billboard messages, press 2. Feeling lonely or discouraged? Press 3.
3.
Just for you. If you are lonely. Perhaps you feel lonely because you are alone. Friends and family are far away, and there's no one who cares. Or perhaps,
Can you guys hear that?
perhaps you feel lonely in spite of all the people around you. Strange, isn't it? But having other people around is not necessarily the cure for loneliness. Other people may, in fact, only remind us of how lonely we really are.
Is your operator?
Thank you for calling the toll-free number for gospel.
See if we can
Gospel billboards post gospel messages in all 50 states because we want people everywhere to know the Lord Jesus Christ, repent from their sins, and commit their lives to Him. Millions of people read our gospel signs every day, and thousands of people have received spiritual encouragement from someone on our phone team. Gospel billboards is one of many programs under Christian Aid Ministries. Other programs provide food, clothing, and medicines to needy people in many countries all over the world.
Don't fall asleep.
Volunteers to help survivors of natural disasters here in the United States.
and false
To
disasters.
find out more about our billboard program, visit us at gospelbillboards.org. To listen to brief explanations about our billboard messages, press 2. To speak with someone on our phone team about your questions or spiritual needs, press 0. To return to the main menu. If you know the extension number of the phone team member you would like to speak with, you may dial it at any time. Otherwise, you may hold for the next available team member. This call may be recorded. Please listen to a brief explanation of truth while we
how's the
connect your
sound?
call. Have you ever asked yourself these questions? Can I really know what is
Like I
true?
need a pillow and a blanket.
What will happen to me after I die? Who is Jesus? These are very important questions,
These are
and
weird.
it's crucial to know the right answers. If we don't, we will miss our purpose for being here on the earth, and we will not be prepared to meet God when we pass from this life. Be assured, Jesus cares about you and wants you to learn who He is. He wants to put His Spirit within you to guide you through life. And then, when your life is over, He wants you to live with Him forever. Does truth really exist? How can we know? Who is capable of defining truth? Many truths can be verified using the scientific method. We can predict what time the sun will rise each morning. We can mix chemicals together to produce the same product every time. Gravity can be measured and documented. However, science is incapable of testing that which is above the physical plane. It is powerless to measure the truth about God and the power of His Word. It cannot explain the creative design of God when holding a newborn baby. Science does not have a plausible explanation for all the millions of lives that have been miraculously changed by the transforming power of God. Truth, through the power of God, can transform the porn addict, restore a marriage, heal the brokenhearted, and bring hope to those in despair. Truth will become evident to you when you apply God's word to your life, find redemption through the
Did you bring back a pillow and a blanket?
and allow your life to be directed by the Spirit of God. We at Gospel Billboards invite you to take
Flowers, Charlotte.
What's that? Is that you in IPS?
We're sorry, but currently no one from our phone team is available. They would love to talk with you.
It does sound like me, doesn't it? Like, is that my billboard?
Our website at Gospel
I was actually asking if that was you in the
To
chat,
learn more about
but it
Gospel
but it does kind of sound like you a little bit.
Oh, I thought the guy on the phone sounded like me. It's like a side business where I sell
Yeah.
these billboards where you call and it's like, I'll save your soul. You gotta order this pamphlet or whatever.
Is that you though in the chat? Nobody died at Las Vegas, Charlotte. Just
Yes, that's him.
Does that sound like something I
Okay.
would say in all caps?
kind of. I can't tell. You can't project, can't inflect when it comes down to.
Will you go on with this damn toy?
Yeah, what are you guys doing? Goes doing. So anyway, I spoke to this guy. His name was Marion, and he took the information. I told him, you know, I saw your billboard. He was like, "Oh, where did you see it?" Going up the highway. Okay, so how do you feel about Jesus Christ in your life? Are you a Christian? Whoa, guy. Hold on a sec. Before we go there, I'm asking you questions. I saw that you're into truth. How does that one work? Like, what is that? What kind of truth are you talking about? I thought you guys were all about faith. Isn't faith for those who don't know? Faith is for those who aren't. Well, I don't really know. I just kind of have faith. Do you guys have any I don't know? No. All right, I'll take some faith. Fine. Let's go. They don't have any. We'll settle for faith. So I told them, well, you know, science isn't always correct, and it seems to me like science beat the church down back in ancient times, and they don't practice the scientific method anymore. You know, they kind of bastardize science. And he's like, okay, I see what you mean by that. And I'm like, well, are you, you know, right now there's a large growing number, large population, growing population online of flat earthers, people who understand that the physical plane that we live on is not a globe, and all that information is secondary information. So wait a minute, so you believe that the earth is flat? Okay. How does that work though? How does that, but how do you, what is under it? What do you have under it? Like, there's nothing under it. It just goes on. You know, wherever you go in life, the ground is there in front of you. Is it not? He was like, well, I mean, that doesn't really prove that it's a sphere. I'm like, I know. It doesn't prove that it's not a sphere. But I can't prove a negative. You know, I can't prove I can't prove something that doesn't exist, because its non-existence is taken into consideration already. Kind of like if I say there is no God, the non-existence of God is already taken into consideration when speaking of the existence of some kind of God thing. It's like, well, do you believe in Jesus? I was like, well, I don't really know what you mean by that. I think it's a great story. It's the hero's journey story. He's like, okay, I don't believe that they're drinking blood and stuff like that. It seems like it's, you know, it's kind of, the 10 Commandments were put there to make us think about things. They weren't supposed to be taken literally. I think there's an issue there with Bible literalists. He's like, yeah, I understand what you mean. But tell me, these people online, you said that there's a, like, is it, where do I go to look up flat earth, and from how do I do that? And I was like, well, you can go on YouTube and type whatever you want. And I referred him to Dave Murphy's movie, The Biggest Lie Ever Told. I referred to him to Rob Skiba. I said, there's a guy who understands scripture really. You know, he can probably recite the Bible. Was a missionary. And he's like, spell that for me. How do you do that? Spell, and I started talking again. He's like, wait, spell that for me. Skiba, what is that? Skiba. And I spelled it for him. And he was genuinely interested. I said, well, it seems to me like the globe just exists in your head. It doesn't exist on paper. It'll never exist literally to anyone, physically. And he's like, yeah, well, okay, I understand what you're saying. I'm not exactly going to run with that because, you know, that's not what we believe here, but it's interesting. And he said it twice. He's like, but we couldn't do that. And I'm like, well, the Bible's a flat earth book. And he's like, well, explain that. And I said, well, there's no mention of a spherical shaped earth. And I said, God sitteth in his throne above the circle of the earth. And he corrected me and read off the scripture. And he's like, okay, so what about the rotation? I was like, well, I don't think the word immovable, I'm sorry. One of the descriptions that's given is that the earth is unmovable or immovable or something like that. And he's like, okay, well, let me check my app here. So he goes into like a Bible app and he starts typing in every different word, that's just all the synonyms for immovable. He's like, well, it's not really coming up. Okay, I got one here, and it was a reference to something else. And I know that it's mentioned in the Bible a few times, something about immovable. Anyway, the point of the story is I had to go. So I told him, I was like, yeah, I got to go and go to work. was like, all right, well, it was nice talking to you. You know, feel free to call in again. And he took the information. I don't know, you know, he was into it much more so than most other people were, you know. Maybe it's because the Flat Earth Society in the beginning really preached a lot of Bible stuff. It was the Bible information that gave them legitimacy. It wasn't the science or the lack of science. It was the Bible stuff. If you go to Flat Earth Society's website, it's actually a great website, and they have a vast reference library.
No, I'm not a big shill spotter. You know, I don't like calling shill, and I think people call the Flat Earth Society a shill group for some reason, and I don't think it's really deserved. But what I would say though is that they weren't the ones who like dug this thing up. I mean, I was just looking at a billboard from 1922 where some guy was calling out the Earth being flat, not from a biblical perspective, but because he said the astronomers were lying and it was ludicrous. The guy Hickson, the guy who did King's Dethroned, he was doing billboards and he was calling out astronomers on their crap quite a while ago. So yeah. I mean, the idea though of flat Earth being conflated with religious belief, I think that's always been a tactic used to attack it, because it's clearly not scientific, and then it's very sensitive for people to hear that their Bible's not scientific. Well, hey, it's not. I mean, faith and in the lab has no place in the laboratory.
Check out this screen here. See the Flat Earth Library? Look at all these documents, archival newsletters of the Flat Earth Society, newspapers, magazine articles, Samuel Shenton Archive, Flat or Spherical, Lady Blount, 19th century writings, mostly Samuel Robotham and the Aesthetic Society, the Ellis Hillman Archives, other resources. And the dates are fucking crazy, man. They're really old. One of these I read, and pretty interesting. Pretty fucking Secretary is not of God. But something was going on, man. Between 1880 and 1920, something was happening. You know, I know the Federal Reserve was right around then, and a lot of things changed. I think there was a power shift of what the new law is. You know, I realized the other day that anything taught to us when we were young is not inherently natural, and that in order to take over a society, a culture, like in the Hellenistic days, the Greek days, when they took over Africa, they started teaching them a new culture. You know, this was nothing that came natural to these people, to the African people, and they had to learn it or quote unquote sell out to it. And that's how they adopted it took over more land. But some of these papers are pretty interesting, like this old shit. Yo, that's just old, man. You know, I think my theory is that based on this book of poems, the one that John Milton, camera's not on, wrote about the pyramids, and about his poem about Shakespeare being buried under a starry pointed pyramid, is still something that Robert Bauval is getting credit for. The author who wrote the book, he was the guy who noticed that the pyramids pointed to stars.
You said John Milton?
Yeah. Dante's Paradise Lost.
Yeah. Where in Paradise Lost? Because I know Paradise Lost, it was kind of ambiguous. Because it wasn't a flat Earth. He made mention of spheres. So it was kind of like, it seemed like he was like kind of vacillated between pre and post Copernican.
This is from 1630 on right. Shakespeare, the name of the poem. What needs my Shakespeare for his honored bones? The labor of an age in piled stones, or that his hallowed relics should be hid under a starry pointed pyramid? Dear son of memory, great heir of fame, what needest thou such weak witness of thy name? That's it. So there's a line, the fourth line is under a starry pointed pyramid. Now, as far as I know, when Robert Duvall in the mid 80s or late 80s made the discovery that he claims was made where they found, because an acetate film, a map or a layout of the Giza Plateau happened to be next to a star map, and the way they just happened to slide right over it and projected it on the wall, and the pyramids lined up in a way where it gave him the idea, and he put two and two together, thought about it, and came up with his theory. And he's, you know, sold a shitload of books. He got really rich off this, and now he's a name like a Graham Hancock, one of those people.
Now,
I think he also believes that they're tombs.
Like, have you heard of these theories that maybe the pyramids are like 350 years old or something, and that Stonehenge is completely fake? Have you looked into that?
I also heard that they're made of brick.
Right.
Some kid's got a video where he runs up the side of one. I don't know if it's the big one, but you see behind him, it's just fucking brick. However, it could be just repairs. It's hard to say because no one does an in-depth.
But what's more likely,
just
that these pyramids were built a long time ago by means inexplicable to us today, and they lined them up with the stars, or that they were made a few hundred years ago by some crafty, who knows, Freemasonic organization that knew something about stellar alignments and made these things and then backdated them several thousand years.
It seems to me they wouldn't build them just to build them. If they do have a function, then they wouldn't have wasted that function. Or maybe they built them and it didn't work.
Well, the function to me would be, the function of creating a monument and backdating it would be control of the past, much like dinosaurs. To me, when I look at a dinosaur skeleton like a stegosaurus, I'm like, that's a monument to the religion of heliocentrism, and it gives them credibility to say, we started our timeline 65 million years ago. Like, I'm wondering if the pyramids aren't part of the same.
I think when it comes down to scheming like this and deceiving the public, the world, I guess, they only have to worry about a few select people that they put under watch. And these people are ones that they're dangerous minds in their eyes. They're like this Ray Hagen's guy. The first time I heard his first lecture, one of his lectures, I was like, wow, this guy's dangerous because he's got a lot of people. He's got a lecture on YouTube, a bunch of lectures. The people in the crowd are responding really well. The way he's explaining knowledge outside of your circumference of awareness is just exactly how everyone should be bringing this kind of information to other people who aren't aware. And the people of today, the zombies, look at the Vegas people or everyone else who's just unaware. I'm not going to say they're all stupid because that's not fair. I was one of those stupid people a couple of years ago. The difference is I'm willing to look at it and accept it for what it is, run through it and pick out what doesn't seem to be real and what looks real. They don't really have to work too hard to fool people because people are so weak. People have been so weakened on the inside in terms of their own personal power, their meaning, their significance in the world, their significance of the world according the world's relationship to them, their relationship. Could they change anything? You know, sayings like you can't fight City Hall, shit like that whole mentality has weakened the public to the point where they don't have to worry about that. In fact, it's so bad, NASA can come out and just spell it right out. Yeah, we faked the moon landings. If they said that or let it slip in an interview, what would it matter? Is someone going to show that video? Haven't we already proved it? That it's a false operation? So even if they said that, it doesn't matter. No one's going to believe us. You know, I watched a video the other day of a guy in a cockpit of a plane talking to the pilot, and it says chemtrail generator on. And the guy asks, is that the chemtrail generating button or something like that? And it had a screen that said it right on it. And then he had brought up a picture of the two engines firing out all this shit. And he's like, holy shit. And that was the first time I ever saw it. So the days of wet work and killing off people that could possibly blow the whistle on a lot of these operations is over, because society, they've reached the point where society won't respond to it anyway. So blow your whistles. No one's listening.
I've been defining this whole thing as a problem of faith. Like, to me, it's not really about sphere or flat. Like, who cares? To me, really, it's about the public has such faith in all these institutions, rendered vulnerable and defenseless. And it's kind of like you can take away miracles, but people will still go to church. You can take away literal belief, and they'll find other reasons to cling to it. And so I think you're right. We're dealing with calcified institutions that have been like ingrained into culture, into people's minds, and blind faith. And so to me, the big enemy here, the big obstacle is, how do you overcome public's faith? And that's why I say that we have, as Larkin Rose would call it, battered citizen syndrome. I'd say we've got battered Globey syndrome, to the extent that we take the abuse and whatever it is. By taking the abuse, I mean, you know they're lying to you, you can see it, but you don't resist it. And that's the definition of somebody who's in a codependent bond, where they're being gaslit on the daily, and they don't stand up and say, hey, this is wrong. They just go with it because it's apparently, like I said, battered citizen syndrome or whatever, where it's Stockholm syndrome, where they actually defend their captors.
Yeah.
So people are going to defend.
This is not good.
No, it's not. It's actually it's kind of a dead end in a way.
It's really alarming. Like, really alarming if you want to go there. But remember, we have the choice to go there or not. You know, my awareness is only, I don't know, maybe a 300-mile radius. The rest is on television or on the radio. The rest is all it's just a broadcast. It's all secondary information. It's all hearsay. You know, and if anyone has, and people should have learned by now that secondary information, since kindergarten, the telephone game is always going to be completely mangled and and most likely so convoluted that it's nothing anyone should take into consideration. But when they want to talk about something, current events, Vegas shootings and shit like that, for all the people out there who want to tell everyone that it was real, and the other people that want to analyze it and say that it was fake, no one's got conclusive answers. So if I was going to attempt figuring out, I would wait. I would go at it until I had definite answers. But that's not the case. People still want to get on YouTube. They still want to mention that it doesn't look real because of this and that. What does that do me as the viewer? Do for me as the viewer? They're leaving us like hanging. It's like, so what if that's your opinion? It was interesting when you were talking to Crow. He gets a little caught up in that, and he goes, I respect his views on things, and he doesn't want to get conspiratorial, but then he goes into 9/11 and starts talking about the number game, and it's just like, oh boy.
Yeah, I avoid all of that. There's plenty of it, but I know I don't really delve too much into that because it doesn't really lead anywhere. But yeah, with regards to Vegas, my point was, I can't say definitively nobody died, and you can't tell me definitively that a lot of people died, because none of us have access to information that we can consider to be reliable, because it's all secondhand, filtered. And there's a broader pattern, but I'm just saying is that I think right now it's a time to embrace more of an agnostic approach to what we're told by government-sponsored media outlets. And again, it has to come to this idea of like faith, where, I mean, how is it that you have these people who all day long, like Alex Jones and others, they say, fake news, this is fake news, but then whenever there's a tragedy, it's 100% real all of a sudden. Like, I think we got to have more skepticism towards the media outlets, and that's been my take on it. Like, I could really care less about the event. Like, I know what it is. But also, who would you say represents a greater threat to our collective future? The auto hoaxers like myself, or the auto believers? You know, the ones who believe whatever they're told on TV.
Oh, without a doubt, the people who have been told to obey authority. It started when we were kids. And like I've said a million times over, in order to change things as a team, as in all of us, you got to change it. You can't get on the team unless you've fixed yourself, not 100%, but at least gotten yourself on the path. Because if you can do that, then you can truly, honestly fight for the better of things, because it's a lot of work. I mean, I spoke to a doctor tonight for an hour and a half about big pharma, and he was making a lot of good points as to why it's necessary, why it will always be there, and regardless of any kind of logic, because it comes back to what I said before. No one's going to believe it because there's like they're all encased in a shield of like the skepticism. Just it can't penetrate it. So like, who died? You know, oh, Vegas shooting. Oh my God, let's get the flowers. Let's get the donations. So when I'm at the water cooler, I'm going to be under the spell of what the news told me. And it's, you know, if anyone says, and it doesn't take much, you just got to like break it in. You know, I've learned ever since I got this job, like maybe 3 or 4 months ago, that this, and it helps that to have one other guy that I have on my side who's aware of conspiracy and this kind of shit. I noticed that details throw people off. And people become disinterested when you start mentioning details. But when you drop clues, like I was on my way out and I said, and someone was talking about something, the Vegas shooting with somebody else. And I heard my boss go, yeah, something like 50 people died or something like that. And I stopped and I was like, do you really believe what the news tells you? You know, you should really just take a look at that. And he's like, what do you like? Just take a look at it. That's all. Like, just don't believe everything you hear. And the other guy was like, oh, is this another one? Like the one you told me, like, is this another Sandy Hook? And I was like, I don't know. Could be. And then I left it at that. 2 days later, we brought it up again. And he told me, and he asked me, you ever heard of Arent Russo? And this was the guy who was telling the other guy about how 50 people died or something like that. I'm like, yeah, I know who Arent Russo is. He's like, oh, yeah. I was watching a movie. And I asked, what was that, the documentary he did? He's like, yeah, it was really interesting. That guy's really because he used to be in production. He used to be in film production in the early 80s. So he picked up on it. You know, it had an effect, at least enough to get him to watch an Arent Russo movie. Who he was having lunch or dinner with, or hanging with Nick Rockefeller. And it's the big stories that people get interested in at first when they're new to this. When they're purple, is that what you get? Is that a purple pill?
Most people are blue-pilled. Purple would be the people who pretend to be on the cutting edge, but who hold fast to the established narratives, like the gatekeepers, and the people who follow them. They would be purple-pilled. The true red pill would be the people who can look past the controlled opposition. The people who fall for the controlled opposition are basically people who can't go all the way because they still need consensus approval to think too far. People like Charlotte in the chat room here.
Yeah.
Like Charlotte's comments, she said auto hoaxers are the scum of the world. And her point of view, or his point of view, is that people who don't believe the media are bad because we don't believe. I'm a non-believer. I'm an infidel. They're coming at it from a place of moral indignation and outrage because they are state oligarchists, and I'm insulting their priesthood. It has nothing to do with facts. It's about belief versus non-belief. And my point all along has been, we shouldn't believe, we should know. And the media expects us to believe and trust them because they have suits and all that. And they have all the dramatics, and they have the theater part of it down. They're very dramatic. It's a big soap opera, a big production. We're supposed to just believe it. But I'm like, no, screw that. It's all fake. It's all lies. Nobody died. Nobody cried. And I have no problem saying that whatsoever. And then, to me, what they try to do, the media functions as a terrorist organization because it terrifies people. It tells them everybody's dying. and here's the bad guy that did it. They tell you all the boogeyman you should fear. And I'm just saying, when you get past the media, it's almost like you lose your fear of hell. Like when you become an atheist, you lose your fear of hell, you lose your fear of sin, you lose your degraded sense of man as being some type of a fallen being in need of redemption. And I'm saying when you ditch the media, you ditch all the fears that they would implant into you. So I'm not afraid of terrorists. I'm not afraid of school shooters. I'm not afraid of aliens or asteroids or global warming. None of that stuff matters a whit to me.
Yeah, it seems like you're living it. When there's a lot of YouTube channels out there, there's a lot of people, and I hate to say, there's a lot of YouTube channels, there's a lot of internet radio, because that's where it really is. I don't often meet people talking about these topics in public. So there are people who are living out the life they project online. And then there's a lot of channels like, oh, fuck. These are the blame channels, the blamers, the tattle channels, who I'm quickly unsubbing, just been unsubbing lately like crazy. When you start to, like, let me use someone for an example here. Someone I was looking, not Chill Stoppers. For a better example, Eustace Mullins, for instance. He's a guy, when he tells you who's responsible for thing, he gives names. He cites documents. He gives dates. He backs his information up. Not on everything, because it's hard to know a lot, and I can see how he's gotten most of his, well, he's dead now, but his claim to fame is that he's just had a wealth, like an encyclopedic brain for the New World Order system and the Federal Reserve System. He was the first person who wrote about it. But I brought him up because somebody put together a compilation of clips of his videos. Like, let me see here. I think I unsubbed from it all. Flat Earth Asshole is one of those guys. I don't know if you're friends with him, but he's just, I don't know what's up with him. And he actually, you could spot who he is. He exposes himself on his last video. I think I'm still subbed to him, where he's looking at a Bonnie and Clyde. It looks like he's in a wax museum or something like that. Did you see that video?
I don't think I've seen it.
Okay, let me play it. Are you friends with him?
What's his name again?
Flat Earth Asshole.
Oh, yeah. Actually, you know what?
Jake Gibson.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I haven't.
You guys did that video together, and I'm like, well, I don't want to. I just think he's
we are on good terms, I believe. I haven't spoken to him for a while. I know his channel got blocked for some BS reason. He's someone who was one of the first ones that I remember recently when they started this recent spate of banning people questioning narratives on hoaxes. And yeah, no, I haven't seen this last one though.
Yeah, when he came out, I was like, okay, cool. This guy seems pretty genuine, and he is genuine. He's being nobody but himself, without a doubt. It's just the problem is being himself is what bothers me. That persona, his personality has just become so irritating. And okay, let me take that back. He's not being genuine. He thinks he's being genuine in a genuine way. Like he truly believes that's who he should be. When he has a few conversation interview type things where he's just this bland kind of like, yeah, like all the animation is gone. And the animation he does, I don't know what it's supposed to appeal to. Oh, Mr. IPS. So you want to make a video about me? Well, the Flat Earth Asshole's gonna take you out, man. Just want everyone to know we were friends. But he decides he wants to fucking show my videos on his Hangout. And whoever this guy, Haunted House, is, Haunted House, what the fuck does that mean? He's going down too. So, but I'm watching this video here. This Bonnie and Clyde video. And it just seems to me like, is this really Bonnie and Clyde's car? This glass fake over here. And then he goes around to the other side of this whatever this car is, and it's all shot up on the sea right there. It's all shot up. Now watch his face when he notices it. He kind of like, I don't know, I guess he has the revelation that, oh, it might be a real car. Okay, well, I'm going to get out of here. Oops, I was wrong. I got to leave.
Do you think that his moniker
Sorry,
might
let me
might
shut this down.
So, Bonnie and Clyde.
Basically, he's making fun of the car
Original
as if it's not real.
Bonnie and Clyde death car for sure. I mean, yeah, it says so. Should we run any scientific experiments to prove? Whoa. Yep. Maybe it is their car.
You see what happened there?
Fuck, I don't know.
See how he got? Like I could tell in his head, he was like, he made the connection. Like, oh, this video is not going to be worth a shit.
I don't know.
There it is. I could have been wrong. I'm just going to stop filming.
Was this live streamed?
No, it was just him he looks like he's in like a fucking Vegas cafe or something.
Authentic.
He's making fun of the fact that it says original, authentic. And he's taking his critical thinking skills, putting them to good use by trying to disprove the authenticity of Bonnie and Clyde's death car. So he's walking around making fun of it, and like then he gets to the side where there's bullet holes in it. And it's kind of abrasive looking, kind of harsh looking. And he realizes like, oh, well, I don't know. Could be real. Anyway, so that kind of upset him in a way. You know, you could tell it's like, oh, I don't want to contend with truth or the possibility that I could be wrong. Fuck it. I'm out of here. You know, because that's no fun. It's only fun when, you know, he has a leg up, which means he's not really interested in honesty or truth or figuring things out. He just likes like ragging on people or ragging on things. It's no fun for him if it's not him versus Koi Fresco, as if this guy matters. So Koi Fresco, you want to tell me that the earth is spinning? Well, why don't I feel it, buddy? Koi Fresco is not.
What, you heard this before?
I've not heard the bass play before.
Oh.
Well, it's like when all you have is a hammer, everything begins to look like a nail. And I think when all you do is you debunk things like low-hanging fruit. I mean, how hard is it to debunk the moon landing? All the work's been done for you. Then you can take your debunking skills and just take out any hoax, you know. And I think that's where he kind of clashed with maybe it didn't work here.
Scott Kelly. Bang, bang. Where's my hat? Stop. Everybody stop. Where's my hat?
No, he's not.
Yeah. Yo, big. Whoa. Dude, I just got a glimpse of my reflection. Holy shit, am I fucking awesome. All right, Mom, I'm playing. I'm filming again. It's the second time.
Actually, I with his mom.
Oh my God.
This new song is gonna find you or whatever.
You're killing me, Haunted House.
What's his new song? B.O.B. So, You're gonna. I got news for you, buddy. There are no satellites. I know this. I was up there.
God.
Your $200 million. Not gonna get us too far, is it? So this is my message to you. Just another fake flat earther, so you're just another fake flat earther.
Some people were legit.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. How much money have you ponied up, big boy Bobby, towards this satellite going to
Big boy Bobby. And action.
outer space? And I thought you were a flat earther. Actually, I didn't think so. But a lot of people thought you were a flat earther. Flat earthers don't believe in satellites going to orbit in outer space. So what exactly are you going to do with the $200,000 if you raise that much, my friend? What are you going to do? Let's just say you build a box with wings, a satellite. How are you going to get it to space, buddy?
How you gonna get it to space, buddy? Hey, buddy, over here. You listening? I got a question for you. How you gonna get it to space, buddy? Huh, buddy? Talking to you, buddy.
I'm serious, man. How are you going to get your satellites?
Wait a minute. I never saw that part. Hey, serious? Holy shit. I gotta see that again.
Space, buddy. I'm serious, man. And how are you going to get your space, buddy? I'm serious, man. How? Space, buddy. I'm serious, man. How are you going to get your satellite to space? You going to attach it to a rocket? Are you going to just hand over the to a rocket? To a rocket? Serious, man. How are you going to get it to space, buddy? I'm serious, man. How are you going to like space?
How are you gonna get it to space?
Are you going to attach it to a rocket? Or are you going to just hand over the $200,000 piece of equipment to somebody who has a rocket and trust that they take it to space?
What's up, y'all? It's Flat Earth Bob here. I'm starting this GoFundMe because I would like to send one, if not multiple, satellites as far into space as I can, or into orbit as I can, to find the curve. I'm looking for the curve.
So what kind of camera are you attaching to this satellite that you're going to supposedly send to orbit somehow that you didn't explain, huh? Hope it's not a fisheye, because a fisheye will show you a curve. Hell, I can show you a curve right here.
God,
2 feet off the ground with a fisheye lens. Is that good enough for you?
Please stop.
How are you going to see?
Stop. Stop. Stop it, Flat Earth ass. Somebody take him away. Take him, put him in the bathroom again. I'm serious. I'm serious. How are you good? Cut. Let's take that again. Oh, man. But I am serious. No, I'm not. I'm serious. Hey, I'm serious about this, B.O.B. How are you going to get it to space? I'm concerned. How are you going to get that to space? I just need to breathe a little bit. I don't know how he's going to get it to space. I don't know. Bobby boy.
You're the best crisis actor I've ever seen. That was some good shit.
I mean, you know, the music has got to go, and the Flat Earth vessel. When you're that easy, when you're that guy with the hat. Oh God, here's the song.
The one and only real deal, Flat Earth OG. The Flat Earth asshole. Sit back, son, take some notes, because I done wrote the best Flat Earth song that was ever wrote.
Right here.
Look at the face.
Oh my gosh.
We don't have time. We don't have time. We don't have time. We don't have time.
I want you to go flat in the yardler. I got my yardler. Hey, listen, man, before we do this video, I just wanted to know, like, get an idea of what kind of singing style that you do. Yardler. Her. Because I'm a her. Because
It's true. And we shall hang a roller crime president. Promise that we don't have time. 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 Don't have time for men of the flat earth society.
oh.
See me up to the wall, they painted it black electric to all. No man. No moon and nobody will. Gonna try to soon take a look. At the cold hot flesh. Look at the horizon. It's always flat. See life. Society.
Oh, man.
You're a one-man show.
I should stop doing that. I'm probably going to get sued.
I thought you were supposed to have a guest on tonight.
Oh, fuck. Whoops.
Oh my God. That's some fucked up shit.
It's funny though. He messaged me about 20 minutes ago. I said, "Are you ready?" And he wrote back, "What do you want me to do?" Why are you even calling me? So you fucking figured out stars and shit. What the fuck do you want me to say? I just took the pictures. I took the pictures. Is that good enough? All right, so the city is following me around about stars and shit. He won't leave me alone. He's messing with me all the time. He thinks he's figured out everything. Here I am. Let me just look at his profile. What has he done lately? I actually never spoke to Cary. Cary Stephens, the person I'm talking about. Oh, look at that. Interesting post. Human domain solutions. Casualty role players. Have you heard that terminology, IPS?
No, I haven't heard that terminology. Casualty role players. That's good.
I'm just looking at the watch.
See, that's good. I got a collection of videos from a company called Urban Shield. I think they're called, or something like that. Or it's a company like this. They supplied crisis corpses and crisis actors to these different drills. And so crisis corpses is actually a thing. It's basically like rent a dummy for your training drill, whatever it happens to be, your mass casualty drill. And I trained with some of these at Fort Lee, Virginia, and that was like more than 10 years ago. And they were pretty realistic back then. And they made them realistic so that you would know, what is it like to try to move a body, because it's not like moving just any old weight. There's a certain, the way that the limbs are. And how do you get two people to move a body? How do you triage and all that stuff? And so they make them very realistic. And so when I look at these FEMA movies, these propaganda flicks, to me, I'm just looking at some of the same training dummies that I've used and calling it out. It's considered graphic content. Like just showing this stuff on your screen, someone could say it's graphic content, but it's just theater blood. I think it's obvious.
Somebody had an interesting picture that they put up against another one. They said, "This is what real death looks like." And the picture was like some guerrilla war, like some kind of shootout, maybe like it was in Nigeria. I guess it was some gang of rebels or something like that. It looked ugly. And the people were all on the ground, spread out all over the place, like really dead. I couldn't look at it. It had to have a warning over the picture. Like it was fuzzy on Instagram. And it was like, warning, graphic content. And they put it right alongside the Vegas picture where there are bodies lying on the ground. And the bodies are inflated. Like you can tell, not like blown up with air. They're just you can tell it's not a dead body because a dead body goes limp, completely limp. I have seen a dead body. It was one of the scariest things I've ever seen. I thought I was somewhat of a tough guy. I wasn't. 74th in Amsterdam, 2006. A woman got hit by a full-size Mack truck. She was in the crosswalk. The light had changed. Apparently, she had her cell phone in her right ear, so the truck was on her right. Trucks like that can be manual. If the truck lurched forward, it would have flat out knocked her right on her ass, would have knocked her out, just from taking the shot. And even if he just hit the gas a little bit, it still would have hit her enough to knock her over. And the story from the two guys, these two wackos came walking from the other side. First of all, I was getting a slice of pizza in a pizzeria and blood-curdling screams. Screaming, real screaming. Drop what you're doing kind of screaming. I don't know if you guys have heard this before, heard this kind of screaming before. Maybe in school when we were kids, that sort of thing. Somebody scares someone. No, this was holy shit. The smile gone on everybody in the pizza place. Went outside, went out into the street, and I was looking up because this was 5 years after the 9/11 fake out. I didn't see anything. And then I looked down and across the street and I just saw two legs underneath this truck. But, that's all it looked like. I didn't know if she was dead or not. But the screaming came from the woman that was on the other side of the truck who saw the woman's head, which was crushed by the wheel. And apparently it was, all over the street. The guy went right over her head and popped it like a watermelon. These two dudes came over. They looked like they were wasted. They're like, yo, fucking hey, man, the fucking brains all over that shit, man. Damn, yo, you fucking shit, man. The fucking brains all over the goddamn sidewalk. I was like, I want to call my mommy. This is that's dead. That's a dead body right there. Holy shit. And nobody was around. There was no cops. They hadn't gotten there yet. You heard it in the distance, the sirens. But I couldn't, it was 50 feet from me. 50. There's nothing I could do. Nothing anybody could do. The driver of the truck had his dog in the passenger seat. And he knew to stay. I don't know how he knew, but he stayed in that fucking truck for at least a half hour and did not get out of the truck. He must have been able to see from his window what had happened. And he was totally innocent, because from the truck perspective, he wouldn't have seen anyone standing in front. It was that tall. And fuck, man, I immediately called this girl that I was with at the time. And I told her, I was like, make sure you look both ways before you cross the street, because I don't feel good. I felt weird, just weird, childhood scared. I got a taste of what that shit looks like, and it was not pretty. There were women crying, falling apart left and right. The two cops show up, and one of them gets a blanket, throws a blanket on the area of the truck. Apparently, it must have popped upward. It must have had a, brain matter or head, skull, something like that.
Sorry. I couldn't help it.
And the crazy part about it is that day, this was maybe about 6 o'clock in the evening, just, daylight. I think it was during the summer. An accident had occurred an hour prior to that on the opposite corner of the block, where a man got pinned by a bus. The bus cut its turn too close and squeezed the guy and crushed him. And that was going around, that had just been cleared up. And these two guys, the same guys who dealt with that one, came back, and the cop got out of the car. They were detectives. They had suits on, so I'm assuming they were detectives. Walks over, he throws his hands up in the air. He's like, "You got to be kidding me!" It's like, "Another one?" And I was like, "Well, hey, buddy, that's your job. Go get him, Tiger. What are you mad you don't get to beat the shit out of it? No. But yeah, it was a lot. It wasn't like the movie.
That's bad.
Because the movies are like exciting death and action and shit
It's
like
cartoonish. These FEMA movies, it's cartoonish. It's like 120-year-old, 21-year-old with 15 guns strapped to his back, kicks down the window, climbs into the school, shoots 27 people than himself. Or this one, 64-year-old man with 33 guns from 500 meters away, shoots 500 people. Like, to me, it just sounds cartoonish, and it should stretch your credulity unless you're someone who's so immersed in the government-controlled entertainment complex that that kind of stuff even seems like it would actually happen in real life. But to me, it's all cartoonish.
Yeah, I don't. It was a hard argument to make versus my doctor this evening by telling him I tried to slip in. You know, I don't really believe people can do things like shooting into a crowd, and I'll get attacked. You know, like, hey, what are you talking about? You fucking do that shit happens every day. Yeah, well, I heard some stories about World War II that people were firing into midair that they didn't want to shoot other men. Like it took that much out of you when you're just shooting and you're shooting not because you're defending yourself or because you want to kill someone, but you're being told to take this gun, aim it towards the men and shoot the other men and kill them. And a lot of guys in Japan, Germany, in the trenches, shit, they just fired up into the air because it was more about just dodging bullets. So I'm sure the other side did the same thing. Yeah, reality has a way. I've tried to figure this out the other day. I know there's a name for it, but the feeling that real, like when you're actually experiencing something versus, I guess, watching it on the screen or hearing about it from someone, never going to be any kind of comparison there. Just nothing matches the real deal, which is why I say, you know, if I'm never going to see this earth as a spherical shape, there should be no reason for me to believe it, because what would that belief do for me? How does that belief help me? I guess the same can be said about flat earth. How does understanding the shape of this planet help?
I don't equate the two, though. Like, my new position, or not new position, but the way I've been explaining it now is, it's not so much that I'm a flat earther, because I'm not. I'm just an earther, right? Yeah. They are the spinning ball earthers who come along and say, hey, it's spinning and it's round and it's in space. You got to believe it. And I'm like, I don't want to believe it. But I'm only defined as a flat earther in relation to them because they happen to be the majority. And that's largely because of the force of state. So to me, it's like they're the ones with the wild assertion. I'm just living my life. So get your spinning ball, you know, myth, your story, and your religion, and just kind of keep it to yourself. I don't need it.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
Like, I'm not a flat earther. I'm just not a spinning ball earther, and I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's okay to not know, I think. I don't think there's any issue with the person who's the person accepting and looking into this information is, in my opinion, in the best position. That's the best place to be. I don't know. Hey, I don't know if it's flat. Hold on with all you're ready to pounce on me. Okay, I was taught the same thing you were taught. Let me just go at my own pace with this. Let me look at it and figure this one out, because it's a lot of programming to undo. And for those who think that that flat Earth is ridiculous, why would they pursue trying to prove other people wrong? Why is there so much pursuit to prove us wrong?
Yeah, That's like why their passion. Why are they so passionate about this? Like, why don't you have these 24/7 tenacious, persistent trolls going after the Bigfoot believers or the Loch Ness believers or the Area 51 believers? They don't give a damn about any of that.
Right. I think it's because there's so much going on with flat Earth. It's just that interesting, and that actually you shouldn't say interesting. That it isn't to me. It's interesting to them. It's probably not, but it's an easy target. To them, it's an easy target.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of flat earthers who react, who get triggered by it, like flat Earth asshole, for instance. So it's fun to push those buttons when they know they're going to get that response. When it really doesn't have to be an argument, it could just be, well, okay, well, let's put our beliefs aside and get to the bottom of it and see who wins at the end. So instead of fighting about it, you go this way, I'll go that way. You read these books, I'll read these books. Let's drop confirmation bias and see who's right.
You know what? I was thinking of this today. Like, what if we set up a GoFundMe account and we basically raise like $2,000 to pay a couple of globe believers to repeat the experiment of Eratosthenes? If I was a hardcore ball earther, I'd be like, here, let me get a couple of broom handles and my protractor, and I'll prove you guys wrong right now at noon. I would have done it by now. And these people, they've been in it for years. It's like, where have they made any effort to do anything other than just assert their moral and intellectual superiority?
Right. I understand that you're at the Eratosthenes bit. Like, what the fuck is going on there? Shadows? And I know it's easy to make fun of, like, shadows and sticks, like that sort of thing. You know, I try to equate the two arguments together. Like, what's the variation for flat Earth? Like, what's our proof that they would make fun of the way we make fun of Eratosthenes? You know, it's just not. And why are we going on that information? You know, if I was going to prove the sphere Earth, that's the last thing I would use on my side. Technically, I should have something I could come up with without any books.
Well, you should. I mean, last night I heard Tim Osman. He was on Validation Boy's live hangout with Flat Earth Court.
God,
and it was a good conversation, and I caught a snippet of it where Flat Earth Court was like, there's supposed to be like thousands of satellites. Why don't we ever see any of these things if they're supposedly up there? And Tim Osman's answer was, oh, well, we got thousands of satellites taking pictures of Earth. You could just simply go ask any astronomer, and they'll show you a picture of a satellite in space. And so I look on Google, pictures of satellites in space, and I can't find any. And I'm like, where do these guys get off citing evidence that they cannot produce? And then if I were to ask him, would you please show me one of these photographs of a satellite that all of these astronomers supposedly have? It's not going to be produced. Like Lewis Hackett says, we do see satellites all the time at night. It's like, who's we? Who are you speaking for? Show me proof. Yeah, show me the pictures. Show me the pictures. And I'm telling you this, if they showed me the picture right now, I would quit this right now. I'd say, oh, you win. You win. You did the job of Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye, pretty much the entire media. You pretty much solve the problem, show us one picture, and yet they don't recognize that the absence of such a picture is a very conspicuous absence. Very conspicuous.
There's also something to be said about yours, mine, yours, anybody's life in general in regards to how important this information is. Technically, I don't need anyone's proof. We shouldn't need anyone's proof. The reward itself should be the discovery that things don't make sense. Like proofs, there should only be one proof. Because once something is proven, the second proof is superfluous. It does not need it. But this proves it. So the other stuff is, that's irrelevant technically, by virtue of what proof is. if I prove somebody murdered another person, then by, I don't know, the fingerprints or something like that, fingerprints match up. Well, I'm going to say that he did it because, well, we don't need that. We don't need it, the photographs of him doing it, or he's in the act. Yeah, but this one shows pictures, and this one's easier for people to understand. People should understand that they're both proof. It's nice that there's variations of the proof and different. There's a lot of proof,
but
so to speak.
These people that people treat proof like it's subjective, and that as long as you're getting the proof from the right source, it's the right proof. It has nothing to do with facts. It's narrative over facts. Like HSP Gang says, go to your local university and talk to people that understand instead of layman's. And it's like, what he really said was, go to church and ask the priest to read to you in the book that's written in a language for priests that you can't understand because you're just a layman, and let him tell you what you're supposed to believe. Like, they are assuming the intellectual high ground when they don't recognize that the entire edifice of what they hold to be like we'll say the academia, it's all based on lies. I'm sorry, there's some great people in there, I'm sure, but if you're like a paleontologist, you've bought into a lot of lies. There's a huge difference between the dogma of scientism and true science, and these guys can't tell the difference.
Yeah, that's a good metaphor.
They're using science with a capital S. Like, you got to go believe the state and prove science when it's supposed to be a methodology. There's nothing scientific about going to the university for answers instead of, I mean, they're basically saying go to the expert, get the right narrative. Right. It's like, no, I want to know. Show me a picture. If any of you here really believe we're on a spinning ball, show me a picture of a satellite. None of them will. If they've had years to do it, they're not going to do it.
You know, and it's not like we're saying that we're not interested in what they have to say, but those experts need to bring their own certitude to it and not what the book said. You know, they need to strip away everything they've learned, not technique and or tools and whatnot, not the objective stuff, but the subjective aspects of it, the opinions, the attitude, the obedience to authority, which, by the way, is one of the hugest underlying issues. And I'm a person who will say to someone else, you need your car detailed, best for you to get it, let the experts do it. They'll do all the things that the car wash people are doing improperly. The reason why your car's in that state is because you brought it to people who you thought were experts, but they're not. There's another group of people who are experts. Most detailers, there's not too many shitty detailers. To do it, you can only do it right, or else there's no way out of that. If you don't do it right, you're not going to be working. You know, there's only one end game. Now, truth, something that's in accordance with fact or reality, is what we experience. It doesn't matter pictures, doesn't matter space, doesn't matter airplanes, doesn't matter technology. You're standing around. Do you know it's flat? Well, I have no reason to believe that it's anything other than what I'm experiencing here. Yeah, but if you go to the mountain, go up to the top of the mountain and stand there. Now what? Well, I see a flat horizon everywhere. There's still no reason for me to believe that it's a sphere. The idea to me of thinking that the earth is anything other than what it looks like on a daily basis is ridiculous. Why are we taking these people's, why are we taking the indoctrination, the unsound, and the false indoctrination? You know, doctrine is the opposite of truth. And not only that, we were taught at an early age, once again, what we're taught is not natural. That's the reason why it's taught to us. It's training. It's subterfuge. Maybe it's not subterfuge.
Well, they teach people they do teach people, though, with this indoctrination to police one another and to police themselves. Like sinners are
to
fine.
achieve one's goal, to achieve
Yeah.
there's other people would have a goal, a belief system that they need us to abide by. And the only way to do it is, well, unfortunately, subterfuge, to deceit, to lie. Because if they gave us the real deal, like I picture a society of people who understand where they live, or better yet, a society of people who don't take any shit from authority figures, who understand their own power. And once you do understand it, there's no reason for you to take it away from anybody else, because there's no gain in that. What good is it? Like, what now? You know, when you're in your own element, when you've reached that level, it's now you realize that the world is yours. It's your world to experience. Everyone else is there in your world. We're all here in your world. We're all here in your world. It's only, the world is what you perceive. It's what you're conscious of, what you hear, see, sense, taste, and all that other stuff. We're all filled with ideas of souls and stuff like that. Like, that's the other one that's got to be knocked down. The idea that the textbook ideas of souls and shadows and mist and this kind of thing. Yeah, it can be explained scientifically, but the fact that it's there needs to, hold on, let me divert off that. I don't know where I'm going with that one. But the obedience to authority thing has to go. It just has to fucking go. People need to become their own authority, the author of their life, their program, their movie, whatever you call this, their soundtrack. Once they do that, they build confidence in themselves. They're better to have around. You know, the world's a lot better place when people are themselves. Sucks when everyone's trying to be someone else. It just sucks.
Well,
because everybody wants to be is being themselves. That's why you want to be like them. And how easy is it to be yourself? Or how hard is it to be anything but yourself? You mean I gotta like do nothing and be me? What is that, difficult? You know, things happen because that's what they do. The creator creates because what else would a creator do? It's a creating machine. It's a creating force, creating entity. I think we should stop calling the creator the creator. What if we called it creator? Who did that? God did it.
Right.
Creator did it. There's something about having that pronoun before that elevates it to something that's not really comprehensible. The God.
Yeah, right. Like, it's more of a verb. And you know, to me, this whole thing anyway, like what I think a lot of the globies are very dogmatic materialists. Like,
yes, let me finish what the hell I was saying. It was a long road. Let me get to the end of it. So this society where everyone has come into their power wouldn't stand a day with any kind of system that wasn't there for exactly what it was appointed to do. The system is in place to, I don't know, fucking make sure the sidewalks are paved. And that's it. Listen, politician, you stay right in that office and do what you have to do. That's what you do. That's what we want you here for. No psyops, no wars, none of that shit. You have a society just living out the things that they believe they should be doing. Because there is no meaning to life. There's no universal meaning to life. You can have meaning in your life, but other than that, it's a blank canvas. And the other thing is, I don't think that should there be a mystery? Should there be this profound question of what's the meaning of life? What's the meaning of life? You know, what happens to you? I think people already got that back in the day, and it was taken away somehow.
Yeah.
Humans got greedier. Something went wrong.
Yeah,
I don't think it was nature, but something went wrong. Like maybe they did the thing that they did the complete opposite of what I'm describing here. they went in the other direction. And since humans do have a tendency to mimic each other, they all started going down this road and got detached from the stars or something like that. Because I think the stars had a role in people's lives much more so back in the day, back when the ceiling was a lot lower. And I can picture it. Do you feel this way? Like now you can picture what the sky probably looks like all the way up. Like when you go about 100 to 400 miles up, I don't picture it continuing. I picture an area where it just gets so dense you can't go through it. And that stars are small. I don't feel like they're gigantic. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't seem to me like stars are large objects. But there's a lot of mystery that we should be reveling in. The fact that we don't know what the moon is, that we don't know what the sun is. And nobody knows what the sun is. No one's going to tell me that they know what the fucking sun is. Like, yeah, I know what it does, but we don't know what it is. No one's there. You know, it's not a fireball spinning fireball. How pathetic is that shit? You know, scientists just like, yeah, well, I don't know. What do you have? A ball of fusion? What are we going to tell the boss? I don't know. We can't. But you saw what the sign says. You know, no question marks allowed. We need to give him something. Nothing was brought to the table. Well, what do you got? Everyone has the same thing. I don't know. Fusion gas, gaseous fusion, Bernie fusion, explosion, atomic energy. For Christ's sake, let's just put it out as fact. But we don't have any information to back it. We don't have any empirical evidence or any kind of studies done or anything put together. Doesn't matter. Have you looked at society these days? You know, it's our fault. It's our fault, because when the opposition is weak, you don't have to be strong. And right there, you know, who we're up against is not very strong, not very powerful. We're not being defeated because of their strength. We're being defeated because of our weakness, our naivete, our stupidity, our allows them to blow us over like the wind. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, you're right. It's the cowardly lion. It's it's our fear at their bluffing. You're right. It's a big bluff.
If people kind of caught wind of what exactly, like they could actually do something about the issues in the world, the problems in the world. But I think we've been conditioned to think that they're unstoppable because of the guns and the wankery, which is the imperial army. You know, this is, somebody used this as a metaphor the other day, that America, the United States, would be the imperial fleet in Star Wars, and that everybody else would be like the good guys. I was like, that kind of makes sense. But they show off their weapons every once in a while to let the world know, look what we have. We have lasers that burn shit. Lasers that can blow up drones. When in actuality, man, when I think about it, I don't think they got shit technology. I don't think they have technology to take the aliens back home. These days, we have the technology to take the aliens back home. Yeah. Skunk Works, Lockheed, we got it all. They don't have shit. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't.
What could they do about? Like, do you think that they just basically like hoax big weapons? Like they say these are the weapons that we have, and they show us videos, and we just kind of go along with it.
I think that whatever they have, it's on a small scale, and it's not yet perfected. It's still in its infancy. It's all test runs. They don't really know what they're doing. We're still driving cars around. You know, people need to wake up to the idea that any vehicle with a transmission is the equivalent to the technology used in 1908. You shouldn't have a transmission in your car. think of RC cars. You know how they had an electric motor in the back? There are Tesla designs where you have a motor at each wheel, and it's all run by batteries. You know, you go slow to fast, fast to slow, slow to fast. But all this gearing, all these differentials, just means we got to climb another gear and then shift to the next one. It's not a good system. It's the most inefficient system you could possibly have. Not only that, but gasoline, there's not, the gasoline we use in these cars is inefficient. If they added more ethanol to it, it burns off and creates, fuck, I forgot what it was, not methanol. You get the point. I can't really say for a fact what it actually is, but it's a chemical reaction where if that was the fuel, we could run cars on alcohol, in other words. It would be way more efficient, it'd be a lot more cleaner, and it wouldn't cost so much. And the reality of that is we could run cars on water. Water, hydrogen. We could add hydrogen to the engine. There's been a few people who have patents. Something came out a couple of years ago. There was a guy who had this invention that it was like a tank, like a reservoir, plastic thing that went in beside your engine, and it injected hydrogen into the engine to change the air fuel mix ratio. And it was giving cars like 20 plus horsepower. When there's a new car called the Quant, Q-U-A-N-T-E, the Quant E, this is a hydrogen car that makes 1,000 horsepower. I think it does have a transmission, but it's the heat death, the exploding science theme mentality that things have to blow up in order to work. We have to burn something. It has to expire, when that's not the way nature works. Victor Schauberger knew this. He just went to nature to realize, to understand how things work, how things should work. Louis Wackett's. Wow, you should overestimate your opponents, not underestimate them. It really doesn't matter, because in the end, they're not really using any of these weapons. What are they going to use them on?
We know what they do with them. Like, when I think back to like my parents getting under the desk during these drills, or like, you know, like these like, oh, they're going to nuke us, get under your desk and hide. To me, that's getting the kids to genuflect before the god of the state, which is their monopoly on violence. It's basically getting you to believe in their boogeyman, the narrative to support their wars, and then you fear their power and you assume that they're in charge because they got the biggest guns. But it's all a bluff. It's like they coerce us into worshiping them. Like, yeah. Do you consider a psychological operation, whether or a false flag, isn't that just coercion by the state to coerce you into believing in something?
I think there's a few things happening there, and the goal is to trigger emotions, to get people concerned with other people. That Vegas incident has now affected you directly, me directly, because now we are all potential shooters. Like, they just fucked every single white male in the country, because now they made it so the public believes that there's a possibility that a man will be up in a building with a machine gun. That picture's been painted and it's been sold to everyone, and no one realizes that it never even happened. It never happened. And I can say that for a fact because I wasn't there. So to me, I could pass a lie detector test saying it never happened. Yeah, but the TV told you it did. You heard news reports. Yeah, but I don't know that it happened. I don't know that it didn't happen. It's not in my circle, my 300-mile radius or 100-mile radius of awareness You know, there's something to say about how technology, how information, once they had the ability, once people, I don't want to say they anymore, but once people with the right motive had the ability to send information anywhere in seconds, that's when it ended. It was all over from there. Because now we can spread a lie. And they've been doing it since the feudal days. You know, the fake outs. In Italy, they used to do fake bombings just to fire people up. You know, it's an old trick. It's an old tactic. It's just it's a sleight of hand maneuver. I think it has something to do with Harvey Weinstein. I think one of the two was a decoy for the other one. Because it didn't help them that both were happening at the same time. Let's say they were both real experience. Can you imagine if that was a real thing? I can't, it's hard for me to picture what it would look like.
Not anymore.
I know, I can't picture it either if it was a real event. And what if the news reported it and then that was it? They said, what if they weren't so excited about these events?
Yeah. Like,
you know, they didn't like.
They tell you
this
who
guy
did it.
Yeah, this guy shot some people up in Vegas. It was during a concert. Heard some gunfire. Here's Tom with the weather. Next, you know, like the glamorization of Charles Manson and all that stuff. That gave people something to watch in an otherwise quote unquote boring world.
Now, there are some pretty good videos that suggest that even the Charles Manson thing was all staged, and that maybe Roman Polanski was like the guy who helped film it, but that was itself a psychodrama for the masses on TV, partially meant to discredit the anti-war movement, and who knows what other reasons, but that it was fake. And I don't think it matters all that much. But what I do think, what I'm taking out of this event is that we got to get out of the habit of thinking that the media should be able to present us with what happened and tell us the motivation of the person who did it and why they did it. Did you see Jesus Campos, the security guard on Ellen, the guard who supposedly was shot first? He was on Ellen, and she brings out a map of the hotel and points to it and says, now tell us, where were you standing when you got shot? And then when he shot the people, where was he standing? I mean, it's unreal. It's like they're using the media, the news, the entertainment to sell these stories. And it's like, I thought this was a crime scene in progress. Why is it being dissected and explained in this way? To me, that says that the public has way too much trust in the media, and they don't understand that the role of the media shouldn't be to convict people in the court of public opinion and then try to affect policy based on their convictions. It's totally state controlled, totally fake, totally shilled.
Yeah, wasn't there a girl who was a reporter, and she spoke up about something and got fired? I think she's on RT. She's kind of attractive, brown hair. Or maybe I saw something different. Could have been a fake out. See, it comes to the point where anything can be faked except what's right in front of you.
Oh, Naomi Wolf.
And maybe that was who it is. Let me see who that is.
Yeah, it was Naomi Wolf, and she was talking about how the NDAA and how they're constantly using propaganda against us, and it's legal for them to deceive us. And she made the case that we're not under any obligation to believe what we're told, and that it's really your consent that allows you to become a total dupe.
She has a cool quote: "Pain is real when you get other people to believe in it. If no one believes in it but you, your pain is madness or hysteria."
No, you're right. Like in Vegas, like I say, nobody died, nobody cried. Yet you had all these candlelight vigils across the country for these fake deaths, and then the Red Cross went out and took a bunch of blood donations. So yeah, the blood was real, the tears were real. When the executive from ABC went out saying, well, all these country music fans didn't care so much about guns during Sandy Hook, so they got what they deserved. Her hatred, her partisan bigotry was real, but the whole thing was staged.
It scares me, and I don't know this for a fact, but I heard that every single time guns were taken away from a culture or a society by the government, the government went in and killed everyone. It just took over, instant tyranny.
Well, what they're trying to convey here, I think, with this is what's different about this particular psyop, is by targeting country music fans, I think this is part of their culture war, where they see the right and specifically certain demographics as being especially attached to their guns and their Bibles. And so part of their culture war, I think, is like let's do a Sandy Hook, but this time let's hit a bunch of NRA members, a bunch of gun-toting hunters, and let them know that, hey, look, you too, even at your gatherings, can be a target of gun violence.
Yeah, if they can get, and they can continue to get sloppier and sloppier and sloppier the dumber people get. They just got to up the ante. They got to bring out an iPhone X or something like that. If people don't get that, they're going to have to get over their gadgets and that bullshit and start realizing that their life is more important than anything else, and understand that it's not egotistical, it's not narcissistic. Never heard that word misused in so many forums. It's not any of those things. You need to have as much respect in yourself as you want me to have respect in you, or else how would I know to fucking respect you if you don't show me how much I should respect you? So if you respect yourself a lot, then we're not going to have a problem, and I'm not going to have a problem showing you respect. Because chances are, if you do respect yourself a lot, you'll be very respectful of me. That means you understand how it works. But in history, Alexander the Great, and that, by the way, I heard there's a lot of disinformation about his story, Alexander the Great, and how he didn't do a lot of what was told. Genghis Khan, the Caesars of the Roman Empire, the pharaohs of Egypt. These titans of power ruled with iron fists. And when people didn't have the means to fight back, they were powerless. And the powerful got more powerful and just took over. That's when they would just take shit over left and right. They would go and conquer different land masses. And that's what the world is really in its most basic form. It's just land masses and water and land masses. We got to this fucking ball idea beyond me. You fucking ball. Can you picture it? Can you picture the world with like if everyone got it and said, was like the way flat earthers get treated or looked at, the idea of a sphere, I wonder how much of an effect that would have on things. Everyone would understand that you can keep flying, keep going. Yeah, but Antarctica, it's fucking, you'll be snowblind. How are you going to get past Antarctica? No, but there are people who have, they probably have a toll booth in the gap in the ice. You got to pay the toll to get to the other side of Antarctica. But if it was common knowledge that you could go, keep going and going and going, no one would feel trapped. This whole idea of feeling trapped and, well, we're trapped, so I guess we need a leader. I guess we do. It has such a great effect on the overall outlook of things. How could there be a future if it's a sphere? There can't be a future. And without a future, somebody can step in and control the situation. No future, over here. You guys, get in line. Everybody else get in line. We'll get to you when we do. And then somebody stands up and goes, not me. That's not going to happen. Okay, well, hey, come over here. I need help. We got one resisting. You know, it's simple stuff. It's playground rules. Nothing has changed. There's nothing new on the world. But once they get rid of firearms, which I doubt will ever happen, it's good fear porn, though. It works in their favor because it keeps people on edge. Oh no, are they going to take the guns? Are they gonna, I don't know. Should I buy more? I don't know. Fuck. What do I do? No one can take the gun from you. Although, I saw another great meme the other day, and it was a cop pulling someone over that said, "I'm writing you a ticket for a seatbelt violation." "What's the purpose of a seatbelt law, officer?" "It's for your safety." "What happens if I ignore the ticket and refuse to pay?" "A bench warrant will be issued for your arrest." "If I resist being arrested, what will happen?" "I will use violence on you until you submit and comply. If I pull a gun to defend myself as you assault me, I'll shoot you with my gun. What's the purpose of this seatbelt law again?" Every traffic stop is just a robbery at gunpoint. That's true. Scary, but true. Scary and true. It's fucking really freaky, man, when you think about it. That is how it is. Although I don't really think that that meme is 100% accurate. You'll get your license suspended and you won't be able to technically legally drive. And I've gone down that road. They make it hell for you. Once you have your license suspended in New Jersey, the system comes after you.
I always think it's strange when you have these people who are suicidal, so the cops come down, kick down their door, and kill them. You ever hear those? Like, I don't know. It's like it's ugly. Like here in Albuquerque a few years ago, there's some incident where a guy who's like mentally ill, he's camping in the foothills, and you're not supposed to be there after like sunset. So they send in the police, and from like 20 yards away, the guy supposedly has a pocket knife. They shoot him with an AR-15, and somebody films it, puts it on TV, and it caused a big ruckus because the guy was a schizophrenic off his meds. Not a threat to anybody, but yeah, they straight up just murdered the guy in cold blood. And I was like, who does that benefit? You know, who are they protecting? It just seemed a little, well, it was gratuitous, and it was an egregious example of, I don't know, lack of oversight. I think the guy wanted to test out his weapon, but I think the role of the state and the role of police, these are things that people take for granted that need to be re-examined, and they use the media to make us think that we need a police state to be controlled. Like they want us to think that were it not for the government itself or the state, we would be at each other's throats. They want us to think that we're less empathetic and that we're more destructive than we are. And I think they even inflate our perception of how violent and how dangerous things actually are. Like the psyops that we see, the big ones, are just that. I think there are lots of smaller ones, so they probably screw with every form of statistic they can to inflate how dangerous things appear. So we beg and clamor for more of their protection. They want us to reach up for a benevolent dictator, I think. And for a lot of people, they already see government as sort of a benevolent dictator or benevolent presence, when by its nature, government is inherently violent and parasitic.
What is? Say it again.
Like, would you say that government is a necessary evil? How necessary do you think it is? Like, I'm not a total anarchist, but I think that
yeah, I don't think anarchy could really work. It's a nice
either.
idea. I think it's just it should be kept in. There should be a clear, a more transparent relationship between the people and the government, and it should be more accessible. And it shouldn't be the people's government. It should be the land's government, the government of the land, as in telephone poles and shit like that. and public utilities, like the water, like that system. Because when it comes down to stuff like that, and everyone's involved, now there's an opportunity to manipulate. You know, when someone gets the ultimate power, because absolute power corrupts absolutely. If they have control over the energy system, which once again, that's also a big part in this. Man, but none of that means anything as long as if people aren't in their power, people don't step into their power, we're all fucked. So it's got to start there. And that's like all I can do. That's the only information I can put forth in a definite way, in a definite sense.
Yeah,
that could help everyone.
I think it can have an effect. I mean, they're going deep into people's minds by the government, I mean, the state, the powers that be, by influencing people in subtle ways. Like there's that movie that just came out called Geostorm. And basically Geostorm is about like a one world government coming together to stop climate change. And they make some system to control the weather. And then because of AI, it turns against us. And so it's like suddenly the climate is like being driven by AI to destroy the world because it's insane. It's nonsense, but that's just government propaganda. Eventually, I mean, it's being used to influence how we see the government and its role. And they want us to see the government's role as it's also here to protect us from the weather, from climate change, from floods, from natural disasters. They want us to ascribe to them God-like powers, and most people do.
I spoke to someone not too long ago that thought it was okay that they're blocking the sun. And they thought that they got skin cancer from the sun. Now, too much sun, people do have conditions, and I can't really speak factually on that. I think it really comes down to the shit we're putting in our bodies. When they're cooked via the sun, it comes out of our skin because there's no other way out, really. And these things arise. You know, the aluminum, I can't explain the fires. You know, we need a lot of help. People really need to fucking wake up to the point where I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago. It was 3 weeks ago. It was when I got levied and when my fucking car, I shouldn't say my fucking car, when the fucking dealership, when I got my car overheated, and it was 15 days after purchasing it. And I dealt with the whole situation with the dealership, and it was the whole while dealing with it. All I could think about was, if I was in their position, I would also be looking at me as possibly someone not telling the truth, because that's the place they're going to come from. Now I have to stay true to this, unless if I want them to take care of their end and be responsible for selling someone a vehicle that was damaged, I need to stay true, or else, you know, what excuse do I have when I don't get what I want? And I ended up paying for it, and they ended up really sucking and really weaseling their way out of it, almost implying that I got into an accident, and that they were almost hinting at it. This guy was almost like, well, I was like, well, when I what? When I got into an accident, fake accident or something like that happened. Anyway, it was a shitty situation. Right when this was happening, some debt from 2009 floated back into my life in the form of $1,200 suction out of my checking account. As I was dealing with the other situation, it both hit at the same time. And I think it had to happen that way. My father even told me, of all people that would take the side of the others, he always did that. He was like, well, you better learn that this is what happens when you deal with car dealerships, used car dealerships. And I was like, okay, I'll take that lesson. Not a problem, but I'm also going to do something about it. And when the other thing happened, he took me aside one night after having dinner at his house the other day. It's like, just want you to know that, you know, these things they'll take care of themselves, and, you know, everything's going to work out in the end. You know, when it comes to debt and those sorts of things, you got to understand these people they probably purchased that debt for a couple $100. Tell them you'll give them $50 a month for 6 months. They'll be lucky if they make $300 to $400 off of it. And he told me a story about he had to fire a woman. He worked banking his whole life, and this guy came in and gave the teller a sob story about the $6,000 that was levied from his bank account, and the woman released it. She put it back into his account, and the guy pulled it right out. And then the law firm was like, "What? You know what? You can't do that because it's a legal situation. The court officer, it's a writ of execution, and all that shit." And he had to fire because that was a $6,000 loss. Anyway, over the past 2 weeks, I really caught wind of what it looks like. You know, how that shady aspect of people and unwillingness to do the right thing. You know, because they should have done the right thing. They should have said, you know, okay, we're going to come out of this as a reputable dealership who took care of an issue. Maybe it was our fault, maybe it wasn't our fault, but we're going to do something about it because we're the institution and we can afford it. Whereas this person who just purchased this vehicle shouldn't have to pay for it, or something like that. Yeah, but dealerships get ripped off all the time. You know, they got to deal with this shit. You know, there's plenty of people trying to swindle others. Right. But I didn't give that impression. There's no reason for them to have that impression at all. So through all the chaos, I came out understanding, with a good understanding that I got to do something and I got to do it fast. I have to start living all this shit that I talk about on YouTube Hangout with people, flat earthers, all of this stuff, consciousness, all the shit that is swirled in the whirlpool of trutherism. I got to start living it. It has to start like showing in my life, which means any issues that I got, any shit in the closet's got to come out. And that's the hard part. What? You're going to tell everyone you're gay? No. But everything else, man, you got to, you know, I'm an alcoholic, you know, I'm this, I'm a cokeheader. It's all got to come out. It's all got to be dealt with. And once you get straight, and I'm not saying I'm there, but I'm trying to head in that direction, it gives you peace of mind at night. So you can actually go to sleep without thinking about guilt, without guilty sleep. Hey, was that Snack to the Future? And oh, well, he disappeared. Sorry to rant. I'm hoping there's somebody out there who's maybe dealing with a situation like this, that's hearing this. Nope, just you. Just your weirdness.
I see Snack entered and then left. Now he's in the chat. What happened? Why'd he leave?
He's probably like, oh, Jesus, haunted. Haunted's boring the shit out of me. I'm trying to get let me see here. HSP gang told me that was deep. ODD. I am Fase.
Fase.
Mufasa. What was that, Lion King?
Yeah, Lion King, Mufasa. What's up, Snack?
Okay.
Yo, what's going on?
No, not much, buddy.
Hey, guys.
What's up?
Good evening.
You guys want to know Snack's real name?
Too much?
It's Rick.
Don't tell them. Don't tell them it's Rick.
That's funny.
Ricky.
It's Ricky. Can I call him Dick?
May I call you Dad now? Hey, Julio, you know, be good to her, you know?
I missed the beginning of this podcast. What was y'all talking about?
I don't know.
What kinds of stuff?
What the hell were we talking about? Society on a whole. having to get the shit together so we can deal with situations happening.
I jumped in and then I was like, this conversation is too much. I don't know. Let me pull out. Well, I didn't mean pull out, but you know, let me just jump out, rejoin a little later. You know, you guys are, because I had no idea what you guys were talking about. It's just like, what? Like being
I was talking about just the story, man.
Into Vietnam, like,
yeah. You know the story of my
less dramatic than that.
Past couple of weeks, all that bullshit.
Yeah,
I think it was just a warning sign. It was a sign to fucking get up and do something about it. You know, like going to Denver, going to FEMA camp.
Why not?
I wouldn't normally do that, but now I have to do it. I have to do it.
You're like stepping into your power a little bit now, aren't you?
I'm stepping into my power.
I thought you were.
It's all over my shoes. I'm making a mess.
Wow.
I think
that's good. That's good.
Hey, Haunted.
Yes.
I hate to do this to you because I love you so much. But
you guys are going?
Me and IPS is hungry, so we're gonna go grab something to eat.
All right.
If you're
just leave the camera on.
Hungry. If you're still on when we get back, we'll pop back on.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
We're listening.
Yeah.
You guys are more than welcome.
AFK.
Yeah, we're AFK.
How do you do your Skype thing, IPS, real fast, if you don't mind telling? How do you do that so you can get a call? You just have people call up your Skype number?
Yeah, that's actually, I should do a tutorial on it because that's a nice feature because not everybody's on Hangouts or Skype, not everybody's savvy, but everybody's got a phone. For that, all it takes is something. Are you using OBS or Hangout?
No, I'm using Hangout.
Oh, I see.
I need to do like a sit down with OBS, you know, like kind of work through it.
You know what I'm going to do? Because I think there's a general an interest in this. I'll make like a 5-step tutorial like on WikiHow or something because it's just a few little steps, but if you do it right, the sound is good on both ends. And so it took me a while to figure it out, and I'd be happy to show other people how to do it.
So you're saying I need OBS to do that? Do what you're doing?
Yeah, in order to get Skype to so that you're not having to hold like your speaker up to your mouthpiece when they're talking so the audience can hear them. In order to yeah, I think you'll need a virtual audio. I think maybe you can do it with Hangout. I'll look into it, but I think you might need OBS. I could be wrong though. I'll look into it though.
I'm wondering if Skype will pop out.
Actually, like OBS is almost like automatically just like listens to whatever your desktop audio is. You know, like otherwise you got to go with like virtual audio cable or something like that.
Yeah, you need a virtual audio cable to get the best sound from the caller's end so that the listeners hear exactly what he's hearing as he talks to the caller with no echo, no distortion. I think you need OBS and a virtual audio cable unless it's compatible with Google Hangouts.
I think like I have a feeling like just like OBS will just probably cover it. Because it's got its own like audio.
Yes, it seems ridiculous that when I play a video on Hangouts or this particular like a live Hangout, I have to rely on the speakers going through the microphone. Doesn't seem, it should be internal. It should be a line-in situation. Like it should pop out on the other end. But I guess the audio is hooked up in a way where.
Well, actually, the other thing, like virtual audio cable is actually a lot better on Mac. I think it works a lot better than it does on PC. Or I'm lying. I'm not sure. Nice shirt, dude. I like that.
Wu-Tang Clan?
Yeah.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Imagine those guys got hit the flat earth stuff. That would be interesting. Method Man. I could picture Jizza You're like, yeah, I understand what you're saying. In particular, BOBBYDIGITAL, Bobby Digital.
FLAGEARGH, man.
MATHOD, man. You know, people don't realize that.
Actually, you know what? One thing I don't think anyone I've ever heard talk about is, what if Old Dirty Bastard was alive? Would he be a flat earther? And would he change his name to like Old Dirty Flat Earth Bastard?
Old Dirty Flastard. Morky and IPS, I'll see you guys later, or chime in later, or jump in later.
Jump in the line.
I know they're going down to the Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have a Piggly Wiggly in Albuquerque?
Piggly Wiggly, what is that?
And if you don't forget, check out the movie Brawl in Cell Block 99.
All right. Cool.
Fun movie.
All right. Good night, y'all. Love y'all.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
We're the Australians. We're the
where's our
obligatory
Aussie
Australians. It's not flat Earth unless we got an Australian in the room.
No,
We're over here. We're underneath. We're upside down. We're down under. We're down under. You're passing your time in the Sheila room these days. Got to be in the blokes room where all the dicks hang out. Hey, mate. Hey, mate. All right, then.
Sorry, I just had some music going on. I didn't want to get you a copyright strike or nothing. No, that could be. Righto. Right, mate. So, yeah, just having a regular evening. I had the misfortune of locking my keys in my car earlier today. Waited over 3 hours for the AAA to come here. What did they say? Eh? Yeah, it's too bad. Just too bad it's not Triple Z. They'd be like, see, I waited 3 hours for the Triple Z to come over, drive around, find my car.
Triple Z. Z. So I looked into
It's dead, baby. It's dead.
I looked into the history of words, and things got really confusing.
I don't believe you.
Like, uh-oh, looks like we got one on the radar. They heard
I mean, it doesn't even matter. I mean, it's just like it's what we utilize. But I think language could be anything, really. It's just like a style or a genre or something. Like it's got to be blues or rap or whatever.
Well, one thing I couldn't find.
You were telling me about that culture with like, what do they use, like 3 vowels and a K or a T or something like that. Pretty limited. It's just.
I couldn't find any information regarding the reasons for sounds. Although there were a couple of videos of people explaining alveolar slides and the clicks you were talking about, the glottal clicking, glottal stops, alveolar clicks, and alveolar,
I don't often glottal click, but when I do, like
that's some interesting shit. You know, how to, like, words in African, or this guy was mentioning the Piraha tribe and how their language, doesn't, I gotta stop saying, gotta stop saying that shit.
Yeah, you say it a lot, man.
I heard an interview the other day, and the guy was saying it so much, I almost had to pull over and start counting it.
You play the drinking game?
Oh,
you should have.
Within 5 minutes, I would have been wasted.
You don't drink though, so hey.
He was saying to say
or cranberry juice. It's good too.
Right?
Yeah, it's right. Like it can mean like pretty much every word you're saying, like every, I don't know, like 20 different uses for at least, right? Yeah.
No? Know what I
It's
mean?
just like I've had enough. You know.
Why can't I fucking link anybody? I can't invite anybody.
You know. This is
Anybody.
a problem.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Michael Caine has a great Cockney accent. Cockney.
Got a great cock too. Apparently. Michael Caine is a tough impression. You ever try to do a Michael Caine impression?
Got to cut off the beginning of each word. You're fucking on the phone, and he's right over there.
No. What you want to do? No. Me. I got to do some yoga before Michael Caine. It's dangerous.
Fucking screen is too
I like
bright.
to live on the edge.
God, I wish I wasn't in this room. So Helena Phoenix and Monique's gonna join in.
Paging Helena Phoenix, paging Monique.
Paging Helena Phoenix to give us a video tour of your pad, and she's gonna do it all in an American accent.
If you can, to take an aerial view of the property for insurance assessment. I'm slipping into a little Kiwi there. You hear that? So yeah, I got my Kiwi traction is a little. It's discipline, you know what I mean? It's practice and discipline, and you get it. You get it, and then you got it. There's so much interesting like jargon and slang, probably. You know what I mean? So many amusing things that people say. It's like, wow, come on.
Oh, let me just specify in the chat. To say no in Australian is this. Say this word. No, you. It's N-O-U. That's the phonetic right there. No, you. But use it all as one. Because if you could spell it out, this is the key. You spell out what you're trying to say. So if you want to say crime, like a Scottish person, type out C-L-I-M-E. C-L-I-M-E. Crime.
That's just like Japanese, though.
Yeah. If you've got their crimes in Scotland, clicking your doom.
That's awesome.
Sassy has the IQ of a corn dog. No, you. There you go.
What's
Sassy
that
has
the
the
average
IQ.
corn dog?
Who the fuck has a name Sassy has an IQ of a corn dog? Who is that person?
Take a stab in the dark here, but that sounds like a troll account that's probably trolling somebody.
You know, like people write.
I'm gonna take a punch in the dark here and say,
damn. People write out damn to say damn.
Damn.
So it's D-A-Y-U-M. Damn.
Damn.
If you want to say boy, like maybe
like Flavor
Southerner,
Flav?
boy.
Oh.
It's
boy.
B-A-W. So you can say boy.
G-H-H-H. Your phonetic spellings are very simple. Mine usually have the GH.
But you know, the other thing that's important to realize is that what makes us think that all these Chinese people speaking different languages are all Chinese? When it comes down to it, it's just borders that distinguish them all.
Like between Sichuan and Mongolia?
From Mandarin, Cantonese. Cantonese is technically Chinese. That's what Chinese
trying to just
people
be really
speak.
ignorant and just refer to Chinese food styles, but yeah, that's a subtlety that is worth.
Li Mu Chao Seng.
Yeah, sure.
Sheng Mi Sheng Mo. Sheng Mo Dao Wen Mo.
And you learned this all from fortune cookies, you said, right?
Yeah.
You're a hell of a study.
I ate the fortunes too. You're eating a fortune
So you
cookie.
make 'em-
Chừng màu tàu phàn màu
Sure,
đó,
the
tay
fortune
màu
of
màu
eat,
xấu là
eat a
tàu
paper,
em
if
màu
they go
cỏ
fiber.
tàu à.
Also, instead of this, eat for your health. You know, fiber is good. Eat a fortune cookie. We are
I used to
adding
eat it when I
actually
was a
more
kid.
fiber now, less melanin. Melamine.
And to speak Asian, speak Oriental,
Damn.
you just change your R's to L's, right? You call Harry Larry. Actually, you call Larry Lally.
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 Yep.
Almost like it's
That's
the letter
the
they
correct
can't pronounce.
pronunciation.
Lally.
You correctly
If
mispronounced.
somebody was lally-gagging in China, they'd be Larry-gagging or Rary-gagging. What does that even mean to lally-gag? To slow down, to take your time? Lally-gag. What you lally-gagging? You know where curse words come from?
No.
Comes from?
Wow.
Cunt. Well, slut. The
Oh,
word
yeah.
slut was
I know cunt.
it meant a slob.
Yeah.
Cunt was a cunt was like a division or something like that.
May I? A cunt is a fur-lined hole. A rabbit's hole.
Isn't it?
Or a cunny hole, which would have like a bunch of rabbits,
Right.
like little. I guess they could be other furry newborns in a hole in the ground. Issa, what's going on, man? We're just having a discussion about. Well, it wasn't law, sorry.
Nice.
But yeah, what's going on, man?
Chill.
Yeah.
Kind of sleepy. Just cracking up listening to you, Haunted. Your shit does, dude. You have flat Earth asshole down great, and I love your Australian accent. Dude.
I learned that from listening to Snack, I gotta admit.
Yeah, really. Actually, I started thinking this is what we really need to do. All right, so we need to do like whose line is it anyway? We
Yeah.
need to be like, all right, we need okay, like someone in chat give us a location. Then we need a scenario, and we need like what country we're in, so we all got to pretend to be like, in the country. Like, we need to do like live improv. Like this would be something we could do at FEMA camp. Like you put 3 people on stage and like, shout out like, location, scenario, and like, wherever
Totally.
from.
I always wondered, how does that show work? Whose line?
Well, no, like look at it like this. Like, okay, like right now, let's do it. Okay, I'll play. So you go like this, like, okay, so you and Snack, right? Okay, so like Snack works for the Air Force and from Australia. And what do you call it? And he is helping your wife deliver a baby in Scotland. And you're from Scotland. All right, ready, go.
Right, so like, how pregnant is she?
I'm already lost.
Yeah, no, well, we can come up with better shit. But point being is, I think we could have some fun with this. Like, it just started. You guys got me really thinking. Like,
So where was the shooter located? Was he from a book depository or like some sort of tower?
I think actually, yeah, no, we should involve conspiracy theories too. You're right. We should do like, so like you're an 80-year-old Australian that witnessed JFK get shot, and JFK and Haunted's a Scottish reporter. But, yeah.
I'm looking right now on the
I saw him
website.
over there
Lyric.
It was a hill. Wait, no, there were two. There was two gentlemen.
No, you're from Australia. You got to remember.
Oh, I was from Australia there? I thought he was from Australia. Oh, I'm from Australia and 82? I don't know how.
Aye, boy, I'm from Scotland. Can't you tell I'm from Scotland? You listen here, Timmy. You fucking spitty cunty fucker. I'll fuck you up. I'll fuck you in the arse. You come on over to my hangout and you snipe me. I'll snipe your bum, fucker. Fuck you, you boofy bump. I'll bash your balls in and smack them around. You call me, and I'm not dogmatic.
Sounds too Irish.
Aye, Timmy, you wee cunt.
No, we need. How about this? We could just.
That was Del beating up Timmy.
Yeah, I like Del. But you sounded Irish. You sounded more like a
Yeah.
you sounded more like Pete Shea on steroids.
Issa, you need to understand that, 9/11 was an incident that I don't.
9/11 was committed. It was committed by fairies sent from Santa Claus.
Wow.
I know you don't believe.
That is some Pete Shea you have. Holy shit.
I
thought I had it on lock, actually.
Well, you say that people have died, and I just, we're here trying to figure out why, and these people are telling us all the time, "Mom, I'm inside recording." I can't believe you.
This is for my audience.
Well, it just doesn't add up, You're saying that, there's no evidence that anyone died. And you can't hear say, nobody died in 9/11. I know. I was there. In spirit afterwards. I don't have to be in Jersey City watching the thing happen. No, you're not understanding.
Sandy Hook Beach, would you be there? The Gunnison Beach? Would you have been there?
Just like Sandy Hook. It's just like all these hoaxes. Nobody died. No one got as much as a cut on their hand. And it's just the way they do these things. It's just the way. There's a condescending lisp there. I got to get Gem Panda down, apparently. He riles people up pretty well.
It's like Q-U-T. How do you spell that? Kut.
What's his name? Jeremy, right? Gem Panda? Jeremy Panda? He fires. What's his argument? What's Gem Panda's argument? That he likes to stick to the flat earther?
You don't really know.
Snack called him a Rhodes Scholar.
A Rhodes Scholar?
He said it one day. You're like, well, you have this guy over here, like a Rhodes Scholar. I don't really know what Gem Panda sounds like. I don't know what he sounds like.
You've never heard him before? You're talking about one of the most distinguished golden voices that will ever bless the flat earth. And he could be on the BBC broadcasting.
He does have an amazing voice, too. Yeah.
Who's that, Gem Panda?
So posh. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a dope voice.
Like pipes.
I think I have heard him before, but it'll take against Timmy Snipes to hell
again. If you want, just call him up and order a cheeseburger. You can hear him.
What'll that be?
That'll be 4 pounds. Be 15 minutes to then, or we'll just 20 minutes.
You back. That's I just thought of Anthony Riley. Yeah, we should do you could do Mark Watson or Mark Taylor. You back. I'll do the Scouser.
I guess really my Mark Taylor.
I miss Anthony Riley. Shout out to Riley over there.
Do you have your coffee at tea time?
Who's that?
That's my Mark Taylor.
Oh yeah.
I just watched a Gem Panda video. He didn't even speak once.
Mark Taylor reminds me of I swear to God, I can't shake it. It's like there's this one episode of Danger Mouse.
Yelly Mark Taylor is different than regular Mark Taylor.
No, dude, Danger Mouse, bro. There's these two cops in Danger Mouse.
Sound like Danger Mouse.
They're like Cockney.
Oh, you mean does he sound like the crow or the frog? What do you think?
No, Danger Mouse, dude.
He doesn't sound like Danger Mouse.
No, he doesn't sound like Danger Mouse. He sounds like the cops that are in Danger Mouse. That's who Mark Taylor sounds like. Is it all right?
Yeah. Okay,
right.
Yeah. We'll do that.
Right, the other one, it's got Big Ben on it.
No, I think he was going the other way.
Good.
Gem Panda doesn't have a video that he's in. I'm looking at it. He doesn't have a video that he's in. What am I looking at? I don't know. These other people's videos doesn't look like it. Got his name on it. What?
It's great. I bet you he could make you listen to an audiobook you don't even want to hear, like about the globe or something.
Dude, you know who surprised me with the most?
Oh, he's got
the best-
tutorials.
Dude, you know who surprised me with the best videos was
How many?
Atheist Rex. Atheist Rex has great videos with like, you know, it's like Venus and the gods and stuff. It's awesome.
Okay, I'm watching a Gem Panda video, and it's a guy animated with a raccoon. His pet raccoon.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Once again, there's no talking. Oh, maybe he has a different channel, right?
Oh, you know what? There's one where he like no. Watch the raccoon one because then he's like, add 1 gumdrop to the cauldron to summon
Gem
Gem
dinner
Panda.
party. He's got to be on that, right?
No,
Gem's
no,
dinner
watch
party.
No, watch this thing with the video game because he narrates it like he's fucking doing Harry Potter. You'll be like, wow, man, let me smoke a bowl. Yeah. I should maybe I'll write like some short stories, just have Jim read them to me. You know, like bedtime stories or something.
My
Shit that
favorite
I want to hear,
impression
not
is-
shit that he thinks. You know,
is Lord
I'll pay
Stephen
for it.
Christ. Lord Stephen Christ will easily put anyone to sleep. They just don't realize that the earth is that we're inside the earth and that it's a cell.
Those were the best LSD videos. Were the ones where he would like fall asleep, like while he was talking,
like in a hammock.
The best. Like
I gotta hand it to the guy. His videos look better than most flat earther videos. You know, he's got his vision down. I spoke to him once. He was in like a restaurant or something in Italy, like outdoors, and he couldn't really hear that well. But here's a flat earth court. Nathan Oakley is Jim
he gets around like a lot more than I would think. Someone that if you told me like if you described him to me, I'd be like, wow, he travels a lot. You know? Go see the Black Pope and stuff, Pete Shea.
Hey, morning, Shays.
Okay, I think I know who Jim Bennett is. He kind of sounds like this a little bit, right?
No, he's not. He's from
No.
Nottingham. He's from Nottingham. Aye? And let me have a go. Let me finish. Let me finish. Would you let me finish? Actually, there's a phrase in Nottingham called it says "give a go." Give a go. If you're playing video games, I've been researching, stalking, learning how to troll Gem Panda better. You know, I put my time into my troll game. I lift weights. You know what I mean? Like,
it's
you
more
practice
like
some Nottingham accent.
Gem Panda is more you know.
Margo.
He's really posh. He uses like velvet to wipe his ass. You know, like that's definitely.
I love him.
I think that's too graphic. That's far too graphic. I'm sorry.
He's awesome. He's like, yeah. Panda's class act. You wouldn't really do that. Yeah, it's good. Like it's got like one of the, you know, like You know, like
that's my favorite. Like that's my favorite turn down. Like you bring up a hypothetical, and then Jem's like, "Well, it wouldn't really happen like that." You know.
It's like, have you ever seen like Rich Dicks?
What a shit.
See what?
Like that show, Rich Dicks. He's like the English version of like Rich Dicks.
Rich Dicks. What does that mean?
Have you ever seen that? Oh, Comedy Central, bro. Look it up right now. Fucking amazing. They're like, like all the time. It's so funny.
The name for that too.
Right. I didn't know. I did because I did spoonerisms. Do you know what they are? I didn't know that there was a name for it. But when you like misplace words, like I was putting pill to kill heads.
Is this like? Are these two guys gay? Rich Dicks.
It's just a show. Yo, dude, listen to it for 5 seconds. You're gonna fall.
I just did that. It seems like
this is
they're either really dramatic or they're two gay guys because they're like in an airport walking around. Like, oh my god,
so stupid.
Gotta be kidding me.
So funny. That's actually like one of I don't know. It's pretty funny.
My favorite gay guy impression has got to be Johnny B from the Jerky Boys. I mean, when he does that, doing Jack Torse.
I don't know it.
Oh, hello, is that Crisal? Are you there? And I pull large pieces of furniture from my ass. Oh, I'll freak you out, baby. I'll freak you good.
See, I don't like when
he comes across like a real tranny.
See, I don't like when he
Jack
gets like
Torse.
ass. I don't know. I just like the wit, like the quick wit of it. Like when it's like anyone mentions like anything to like body parts, I'm like, boring. You know what I mean? Like it's like they're like too vulgar. I like the nuance.
Totally. Yeah. Well, there's the voice, and then there's the actual shit that you're saying. Like when people do impressions and they immediately tell you who they're doing. You ever notice that when people are like, hey, well, I'm Sean Connery. Hey, Miss Moneypenny. Well, okay, I know you're Sean Connery, not because of your impression, because you told me. Did you tell me? Because if you didn't, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Just so you know, I'm doing Sean Connery. Is that okay? Okay, I'll keep going.
You're the dog now, man.
Junior.
The dog's name was Indiana.
I wish I knew more Highlander script.
He's only in he's in 2 of them, right? That was a weird. I don't remember. Like the Quickening was the 3rd one, right? That's the one where Connery's in there. There's all these like weird, fucking cutscenes and shit. And there's like that grid in the sky. I guess it's Wi-Fi. They were trying to let us know. Some shit. I like him in The Rock. He's probably that's one of my favorites. You know, he's good in The Rock, man.
Oh yeah, he's that
pretty
like,
much
what is he, an escape artist or something?
He's fucking.
He's got to break them into the prison.
I'm just got to get you down through the tunnels, so be careful.
Yeah, you know, at the end of the movie, there's like that Navy SEAL dude who's talking to like the like he's putting like I forget the scene. There's like this one scene at the end of The Rock where it's like he's like giving like direction or whatever like that. Like I'm related to that dude. He's actually ex-Navy SEAL too.
I like that. You know, it was so simple for those Jerky Boy guys. They passed a tape around of them just fucking around, and they made a tape of it. And that's how I heard it first. It was on a ski trip to Smuggler's Notch, aka Smuggler's Crotch, in Vermont. And somebody's like, "You got to hear this." And it was, you know, the car salesman guy. Frank Rizzo, open your fucking ears, jackass. But the guy, he did it with such conviction. He's actually the dude who did most of the voices. He's on Family Guy. He's Mort.
Mort. Oh
Like,
yeah, Mort. Everybody
Jewish
loves
guy.
Mort.
Oh, Peter, I'm bleeding from my ass. Should I be bleeding from my ass mouth?
See, that's where I'm like, you know, I want to go fucking slap people like that, like that say that dumbass shit.
What?
Like, you know, like just that vulgar and retarded and American. Like it reminds me of like Seth Rogen and all he's done for fucking American comedy.
Yes, Seth Rogen. I wonder what is the appeal of Seth Rogen? Will someone explain that to me? Like,
He's everybody.
And the stoner humor is like
he's anybody.
Stoner humor. Dude, and get stoned and stoned. They just figured they'll stick him in everything and anything. He'll have his serious role one of these days. Kind of like Donnie Darko when he played the bully.
I'll never believe it.
But yo, so you got to check out Brawl on Cell Block 99, dude. Vince Vaughn got a machine in that movie. Kick ass. He's got some fighting skills too. It's entertaining to watch a guy that tall throw some fists around. And fuck,
wow,
man,
he's
it's violent. It's violent, that movie. Yeah, he does some fucked up shit to some people, to like these prison guards. Like, it's a cool premise though. It's a good story.
That's cool. I didn't like him in she was in True Detective the second season. If you like True Detective the first season,
I haven't
you
gotten
haven't
into
watched
that.
the second. Do
I
not
was
watch
gonna
the
get
second
into
season. It's terrible.
Woody Harrelson,
Oh,
Matthew
that movie,
McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey is
Gibson.
awesome. Woody Harrelson, awesome. The two of them are even better together somehow. Matthew McConaughey looks like he's almost ready to die. It's great. And he's like, I got down to 32 pounds, because I like acting.
Yeah, it's what I do. Yeah, ladies like it.
I do. I just go like vroom vroom vroom, hey.
Yeah, my name's Mud. Well, they want to call me for these movies, and I just work it out a little bit. Make people feel good. It's about feeling good. It's about feeling good. This character really. I can do that to this character especially. Well, growing up, Stephen King was his books. No, Matthew, they weren't in your house. Probably, most likely, they weren't in your house growing up. Yeah, okay, they weren't in my house, but it was just amazing working with such talent. Idris Elba's just, he's working with such talent.
Is that guy that good, do you think? Is he that good of an actor?
Who? Idris Elba?
Yeah, everybody says that guy's so good.
I have no idea. I don't even know what he was in.
Never, nobody lies?
What was he in, The Wire? The TV show The Wire? I think it was.
I believe he was, yes. I think so.
The Wire?
He was in that movie pretty cool. Only because I really wanted there to be... really wanted that to be a good movie. But he's in there.
What, Dark Tower?
Prometheus is the prequel to Aliens. Any fucking way, whatever. I don't know.
Prequel to Alien. Was he in an Alien movie? Why do they make these Alien movies? Why are they making Blade Runner? Why did they do Total Recall, which I never watched?
I think it's
probably
good.
Won't watch.
I was talking to some really geeked out people. I guess you get older, you get priorities and stuff, and you don't go watch movies. You're like, I'm not going to go rush out to the theater and watch. When was the last movie you went out to watch in the theater? You had to go see it there. Couldn't wait to watch it on bootleg.
I haven't watched the movie in the theater in I fucking can't even 8 years, 7 years.
Wow.
Blimey. Crikey.
Freaky, man. Really? It's a long
Get yourself
time.
out to the cinema.
I remember, I used to go,
out there
14 times a year.
Mad Max 19.
14 times a year. Much Mad Max.
Mick Dundee.
Sorry. That's it.
You can escape us, Mick Dundee, but I will come find you.
Dude, you're so funny.
You can run, Mick.
The bad guy from Crocodile Dundee, Part 2. Fuck.
Yeah, you make fun of my lips again, Mick Dundee. We'll see who laughs in the end. So my lips look like I just had a face full of skin and someone took a razor when I was a baby and opened them up. What do you have to say about that? I have your friend, Mick. You gotta come out sometime.
Mick Dundee.
Mick Dundee. Fuck, I'm ugly. Damn. But I have your woman. This you care about, huh? Mick Dundee.
Who's the old guy in the
You ever see the outtakes for that's not a knife? The original scene.
I've never seen the director's cut of Crocodile Dundee.
It was like, that's not a knife. This is a knife. Cut. No, that's not a knife. That's a knife. All right, try it again. That's not a knife.
No, that's actually a
This is a knife. No.
The right prop.
I need you on the accent with knife. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Here's a knife, but that's not a knife. Technically, it's a knife.
That's not a bologna sandwich.
Technically, it's a knife, but it still is. Try it again. What's his name? Paul Hogan. He wrote the script, man. He got an Oscar for that movie. Did you know that? Did you know that? Huh? Best screenplay.
Probably not a Freemason.
He's just Illuminati Dundee.
He's probably not like Illuminati Spawn. We're sure of that.
That would be interesting. Mick Dundee goes after the Illuminati. That's not a psyop. That's a psyop.
Well, I don't know. It's funny. Like Australian cinema is kind of interesting. So, I mean, as far as American exposure, another movie called Yahoo Serious came out in the.
Oh, I remember it.
Yeah. How did that guy get a job? I mean, he was like Carrot Top without jokes, without props or an act. Yeah, that's cool. Just yeah. So don't watch that movie, or watch that movie. I don't know. It's called Young Einstein with the Australian phenomena Yahoo Serious, which I think was one interesting because it came before Yahoo, and two, he predates Carrot Top, so it's quite fascinating. I'm not sure why everybody muted, but I've got some other low light movies to watch.
That was accidental muting, by the way.
Oh.
I didn't mean to mute. Mute. I was going to say, yeah, Yahoo Serious. He had some serious movies, I believe, afterwards. Greg Gomez, Pede. Greg Gomez. Kind of looked like the dude from Johnny Rotten. It's the year of the Johnny Rotten. Johnny Rotten.
Thanks, Neil Young. Who just
Oh,
died?
man,
Tom Petty just died, huh, man?
I'm a lot like you.
On the first part of.
Hey, yo, what did you guys? Yeah, what did you guys? Oh my God, Haunted House. Like, do an impression of Eminem's new rap.
I've never heard it. Is that ridiculously fast rap?
Oh my God, dude, how stupid is that shit? He's like, oh, what's that? Is that a hot coffee pot? I'm gonna put it on Donald Trump's head. It's like, dude, what up? Dude, have you seen the videos where they're like, there's like a video out, like, did they clone Eminem? Cause yo, he looks like a washed up fucking weirdo with that. Like I thought it was a joke or a parody. Like when I first saw it, I thought it was a parody. Like I thought I missed the video that came out, and like this was some dude making fun of Eminem because he was like a hot coffee pot. I was like, what the fuck? It's like, what the? I was like, this is so stupid right now.
I know. Yeah, it's kind of like the that with Leonard Bernstein. You know how that fast-paced lyrical thing. But I did hear M song the other day where it was just like, it's like, leave that shit to fucking Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah,
Like,
it was I just couldn't believe it. It was like I thought it literally like I was cringing I couldn't listen to it. I was like, it was like I could like just as much as I can't watch someone like bomb on stage or something like that. Like, I can't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just like, I can't do it. Like, I can't stand the uncomfortable. Like, that's why, you know, fuck that. I don't know, fuck Seth Rogen in general, but like that notion of like where it's like cringe. Are you trying to get a copyright strike?
Yeah, I quickly shut that off.
Yeah, dude. Eminem, what a shame, dude. Like, and I mean, I love the cat, but like that was he must have got paid a lot of money to do that. like I started thinking like if you were an artist, the best way to handle that scenario would be to write the worst rap you could ever write and totally fucking bomb and just be like, this is stupid. Everybody knows it's stupid. So I'm gonna write something stupid about coffee pots.
Yeah, that's and the producers are all behind that shit. The producers are like, yeah, this is the next hit, and they fake fucking. And I've seen this shit before, where a band is dropping the new album, and if they like if they like the music, although I haven't seen it where it's bad music, thank God, I haven't been around that. Like it was always actually pretty good music, but good music is good music. And then there's people who make it amazing music where it's like, God, okay, it's good, but don't get carried away. Let's not go there. Let's not get nuts about it. It's not fucking amazing, but it's good, sure. But the producers, they just kiss the ass of the artists. Yeah, oh, it's beautiful. Oh, you're doing such a good job, man. Yo, that fad, did you see that? Wow. What an act. Like, what about the Micro Machines guy? Remember him? He's the guy who could talk the fastest in the world. Get yourself some Micro Machines. He's that dude. He did a lot of, remember those? Exactly. That's exactly what I was talking about. The dude who used to be on all those Micro Machines commercials. Micro Machines, 1988? I used to have Micro Machines. A little bit smaller than a Matchbox car. Whoa, honey, I'm taking a piss. Honey, should I pull out yet?
Micro Machines, MM33.
I'm coming. Turn around. Wow. Yeah, we have 20 kids. He just goes too fast.
This is funny. I'm taking a piss.
Yeah, to talk about Gem Panda. Gem Panda sounds like he's got a good microphone. That's also part of it. And he knows. It seems like he knows how to use it, like he's speaking into it, not just in the room.
Right. It's not an accident. Okay.
Do you guys remember, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell the trend was, but it seems to me like back in the 80s, there was this dichotomy or something. I think I might be using that the wrong way. But for some reason, entertainment, MTV, they would always pit the punk rocker versus the aristocrat. You remember that theme that would appear where it would be like somebody in a suit, like with a monocle in their eye, like, oh, this is outrageous. And then, the other person next to him would be, like a leather jacket with shoulder pads or, green.
I do what I want to do, okay? So I challenge the system.
The theme there was like the two opposite ends of the spectrum. And they'd have videos where the punk rock, like, I think it was Cindy Lauper's, where they get that one dude in the suit and he starts dancing. And they did that shit on the airplane where they had like the arrows and the Jewish family next to each other. Like they played with those ideas.
Yeah, man.
It's like these two are
That's
like,
cool.
they're hugging each other.
Uh-huh.
Crazy.
Yeah, the audio sucks.
Yeah.
On it.
What's that?
It sounds like you're broadcasting from your aqua lung.
Oh.
It's kind of like underwater, but a little bit of that.
Dun, dun, dun,
I fucking understand you.
Oh, it's tremendous. Like you're really underwater.
How can I understand you?
Knock once for yes and twice for no.
No.
They turn on when you put them in your So I saw the new iPhone tonight. Holy shit, it looks exactly like my fucking iPhone.
It sounds like you need to get an iPhone and your mic sucks.
I have an iPhone. I looked at the iPhone 8, same fucking thing. I just
Pick
found
one
out.
up next time, then. Because we can't hear you.
Probably muted.
You upgrade to the iPhone 9.
Yeah, you need an iPhone quick. What you got, the Obama phone, dog?
Yo, it's the Obama 9.
Yeah, it's the Obama 8.
You think Obama
It's
was
too
a black
bad,
guy?
Obama should have Nikes.
Well, he wasn't Soul Man.
Remember that movie? Holy shit, Soul Man.
Wow, yeah, C. Thomas Howell, right?
Hell yeah.
Shit.
What did he got? Affirmative action money or something?
Yeah, because he's like, I got these melanin pills. Now I'm black. Original. Don't do this movie.
Remember when Ted Danson was going out or married to Whoopi Goldberg?
Whoopi
Remember
Goldberg.
Yuck. That's so
You want to
yuck.
talk about a match. You want to
so
talk
yuck.
about compatibility. You want to talk about passion. You know what I mean? These two had it in spades. So yeah, they look great together too. So man, that wasn't a publicity stunt. Couldn't have been possible.
Didn't Ted Danson appear in blackface?
Hey, yo, you know what's cool? Is that the first episode of, it's fucked up. I didn't know that. The first episode of Cheers, they mentioned Flat Earth in the pilot.
You're kidding me.
Nope. Yo, Haunted House, look it up and play it for everybody.
Wow.
Flat Earth reference. Cheers television show, 1982.
Yep.
Mark Sargent got it. Oh, he put that out.
Where every flat he knows your name. We need a Flat Earth Cheers, don't we?
Yeah. Google Hangouts knows your name. Google Hangouts has Snapchat sold your picture to Google Hangouts knows your name. Oh my God, we do. Right? All the hackers know your
Always
name.
hire net with you. Like fucking. Those were the best. I mean, a lot of, I guess, millennials won't know what it was like to grow up with Cheers on so much. It was highly, highly syndicated. Always on. Somewhere. It's on right now, probably, at least in 2 countries. And I don't know, man. Comforting show to watch, though, right? It's just it's all guided laugh tracks and
Yo, dude, I watched this fucking video yesterday, though. Check this shit out. There's this one cat, I forget his name, is Black Child something. And he's, Charlize Theron, how, she's, I guess really, an Illuminati witch and shit, right? Or whatever. And so, but the real fucked up part is that she's got her little boy, who's, an African boy, that she's dressing up as a girl. This shit's weird as fuck, yo, actually. I was like, maybe she is a witch. I was like, damn. She's sexy, though. God damn it.
Right. But yeah, probably a witch.
Totally a witch.
Probably a witch.
They're all witches, dog. After midnight, they fucking... You could tell.
She was in that movie, the Devil's whatever Apprentice or Devil's Advocate.
Yeah.
And De Niro with Al Pacino.
Charlize Theron is Charlie Sheen.
She's Charlie Sheen, is it?
The worst accent ever, though, is that South Africa. Oh, South Africa. African. South Africa. It's almost annoying as the Australian accent. No. But South Africa. Oh, nice phase. Isn't it fun? Mark Taylor and Anthony Riley's conversations were fucking epic. Charlize Theron is Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, she's got a son, and it's a black kid, and she's got him in his karate outfit. Looks like he's maybe 4 or 5, but he does have purple shoes.
And dude, no, dude, she's got him with around like there's like dude, look at he's got a hat with like a fake ponytail with white hair and shit. Or like just I was like, what the fuck did I just stumble across?
Yeah, it's hard to make that general. It's hard to say what's going on because who knows what they were doing that day. And I just can't stand those.
Are you making excuses for the witches, dog? What are you doing?
I have to because it's gotten too carried away. Man. Everyone's like, Illuminati tranny this, Illuminati tranny that. It's like these people.
I'm not saying no. Hold on. You're confusing the two issues.
Wait, so you're gonna actually look up Illuminati tranny right in the face and say that's not an Illuminati tranny?
Hold on. You're confusing the two.
Got to look at her cack first.
Hey, listen. You're confusing it. There's one issue that she's fucking Charlie Sheen. The other issue.
Theron.
Listen, and the other issue is that this is the fucking more pertinent one is that she's got her kid, who's like a little black, like a younger black boy, dressed up as a girl, with like a ponytail with like blonde people fucking hair.
I think if I could say like a third problem is that it was for a time, or maybe it still is. It was kind of almost trendy to have a black adopted kid if you were like a megastar, right?
Right.
You couldn't really be a megastar and like, yeah, I've got like 12 kids. They're all minorities. Because what? I don't know.
Yeah, but they were also saying how like in the black community for a white person to adopt the black child is like a big disrespect over in South Africa.
Okay.
South Africa.
Here's the kid.
They're a little.
It's hard to tell with these pictures.
At least according to the fucking YouTube video I watched.
Well, it looks like she has a daughter too.
Yep.
It looks. Could she have a daughter and a son?
Yeah.
Because I think that's what we're dealing with. And it'd be very easy to say that she's dressing up the son as a girl.
She's dressing up the son as a girl.
But if she's got a son and a daughter, then nothing abnormal here. Yeah, she does have 2 kids. But this, okay, the it says Charlie Theron, Charlie Sheen's son wears pink ballerina outfit.
Right.
To birthday party. I don't know what to say about that.
Does his son do Tiger Blood too?
The son, okay, the kid has been a lover of pink clothing for some time now. So we probably shouldn't be shocked that he rocked a full ballerina getup this weekend to head to Beverly Hills along with his sister. We're not sure about that blonde braid though. Kids are stupid like that though. Mommy, I want to wear the dress.
Yeah, that's what
who knows what the kid's been.
Hold on. Did your mom not let you wear the dress or something? What's going on?
No, but I can see the kids. Like these kids are fucking weird. Who knows if they're in public school or what they've been exposed to. They see mommy dress up as different people every day. She makes a living. I'm not trying to justify it. I'm just trying to not go conspiratard.
Yeah.
Did I mute?
No, you're good.
What's wrong with you, man? Huh?
Uh-oh.
Did you not get to dress up like a girl when you were a kid? Like,
man.
Also, yeah, what's up? You coming out to play drums? If you can't. Haunted? Now you're muted if you're talking. Hello?
I think he was trying. Well, I don't know. We're still looking for drums. So if anybody in the Colorado area has got drums.
But yeah, but it's Haunted. You gonna be out there to play them?
Something's up.
Uh-oh.
Something's my computer's frozen.
Look at you. You didn't want to get conspiratorial now. You started talking about Charlie Sheen.
It didn't like my sticking up for echo.
Trying to shut me down, dog.
Sure, shut me down.
Mute hat.
Monique says you mute when you're talking, but not when you vacuum your car.
Yeah, I made that mistake. I was like, guys, I gotta mute.
I'm sorry. I was just sorting my sandpaper collection. It's funny because he really was like sorting his sandpaper collection one day. I was like, what? It sounds like a bunch of sandpaper being sorted. That time when you're right about that feels good.
So did you guys hear my song about the lasers?
Victory.
Haunted, did you hear my song about lasers in the sky? You gotta learn that for the fucking FEMA camp.
Lasers in the sky.
Yeah, play it, man. It's awesome.
I don't know if I can. Like, I got the spinning ball of death.
Are we like cut off or?
No, I just grabbed my phone.
Yeah, I know, but it'll shut down the Hangout if your laptop isn't on.
Yeah, I can't access Google Hangouts.
Yeah,
and I got this fucking echo because I can't
Try
mute
to
it.
change the algorithm. Maybe hack the mainframe.
Globe.
Now, yeah, you just go on, you shut down the browser and then go back onto YouTube and then live stream, go to events, and then start the Hangout again. But do it within 5 minutes or else this message will self-destruct.
Oh, I can't even shut it down. Might be the end. How long has this been going for?
This is the end.
This is the end.
Of Haunted Hangout.
On the first part of the journey.
There were plants and birds and stuff and rocks and
and things all over the place, and I can't remember the other part. I gotta go. I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain.
A horse?
In the desert, you don't remember your name because there ain't no one there for to give you no pain.
I like how you said horse.
Horse. I want Sprinkle tonight. I'm riding Sprinkle down the highway in the desert.
Yeah, you should do Desperado.
Oh, I can't stand Don Henley. I'll get Don Henley burned. He's a fucking jerk off. Apparently.
Wow. I don't know the words to Desperado, but you're lucky I don't.
That was my line with what do you call it? I was like, oh, Jan Panda, come down from your fences. Oh wait, hanging out with Cathexis for so long now. What was it? Jim Panda, why don't you come to your senses? Get off the fence with cathexis. I forget.
Did you think that it was a globe, or that we really landed on the moon?
Yeah.
Are you playing music, dog, or are you sleepy?
Me?
Playing music, dog.
I'm a little bit sleepy, but I'm wondering if this hangout's gonna end.
Well, he's still double fisting
Trying
us
to
here. We got
hacking the mainframe.
he's he's probably doing that. You know, change the encryption patterns or something.
All his friends at the New York Times.
Yeah, maybe if he uses a subroutine or something, you know, he can do
Lasers in the sky. Lasers in the sky. Lasers in the sky. If you get high and you try, hope they hit you with lasers in the sky. Lasers in the sky. Lasers from the sky.
What's your chords, man?
Lasers in the sky. Hit you in your eye. If you wanna try on your doctor's supply. Lasers in the sky. 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 Oh, that's a nice piano, dude.
Yeah, just trying it out, man. I just had a piano.
Nice.
Grab my my sacks after this donut.
All right, gentlemen. This isn't going to come back, unfortunately.
Well, you're still on, which is a surprise. Unless it's been 5 minutes and I haven't realized, or I don't know if it's been 5 minutes yet.
Still running.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys want to continue. I just don't have, I lost all controls. What time is it? 15 anyway.
Huh, we got booted?
Sky Laser got me.
Yeah, we got booted, huh?
Yeah, we got the Djibouti. What are you gonna do, huh? We're still here. Are you on your phone, Haunted?
I'm actually gonna.
Let's hang out. May
I'm gonna actually.
self-destruct.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually. I'm gonna fucking put my head back down for a little bit. But
Alright,
gentlemen, please. I'm actually gonna.
Let's hang out. May
I'm gonna actually
self-destruct.
continue with the improv. This shit is so good. English accents and Australian. I'm gonna put my head back down for a little bit.
Ah, man, well,
Gentlemen, please.
sweet dreams, man.
Continue with the improv. This shit is so good. English accents and Australian. Somebody's got a watch page open. South Africa.
Sweet dreams.
Where's
Space from?
Somebody's got a watch page open. Our next. Bless you. Peace to the chat.
All right, later.
All right, gentlemen. We'll see you later. Have a nice day.
I just got booted. You guys hear me?
Well, man, thanks for coming by. Aye, man. Yeah. Oh, well, there you are. Hi. There's a crazy sound is sounding.
Alrighty then.
I'm glad you got that all taken care of. That took a while.
I got a feedback fucking chaos over here. So.
Well, it sounds lovely. No.
Let's shoot the shit tomorrow or something about the technicalities of music rental and setup to make sure that we got everything or something.
I'll break down some of those tunes you sent, man. We'll go about it. Pretty easy, though, you know.
Yeah, David Axelrod's great, man.
Yeah, did you check out a little David Axelrod?
I did.
Good stuff, right?
I can't believe I haven't heard of him.
It's super like it's like if hashish were just music. That's what David Axelrod would be.
I can't believe I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, but DJ Shadow uses a couple I think samples from him from time to time.
Right. In one of those songs. Midnight in the
That's why you gotta love DJs, you know. You're like, where are these funky grooves from? Yeah. Well, they're from here. From this obscure album from 1978 or so.
Yeah, that's why I've always been into
Is that why? Did you mute yourself again just now? I can't hear you.
Did I? Yeah. This is fucking idiotic. I'm talking into my phone, but the audio is going into my computer. So I just put everyone out.
Well, this is a flying mess you've got us in here, Haunted.
Ah, man.
If you guys want to stay on,
Just gotta get a new microphone, man. About $14. Ah, I
heard one.
7-Eleven.
I saw one for
What?
18.
I can't even hear you. Let's hang out another time.
19 or 18. Either way, it's 420.
Thanks for the reminder. I'm glad to let our audience know that, and like I'm glad to know it as well. Gonna take advantage of that now. You ever go out to your car and you're like, why did I do that? Yeah.
I still got the spinning ball of death.
Tell your maggots geocentric too.
Spinning sphere. If I drop out, peace.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, mate. And yeah, talk tomorrow.
All right then. We should do that.
Grooves. Yeah.
Thank you everybody for listening to me rant it up.
Get a boomerang pedal. All right, I'll talk to you later.
All righty then. Good night, everybody. Good night, Isa. It's like a Sunday morning. Can't even shut the fucker down. Come on, activity monitor. The godlike power to shut things down.